I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fixed fire. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 18, episode number 4001. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my car, Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. Well, champ, today it is a random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: the best breakfast cereals and the most obese states. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Taylor.
Clack, clack.
Drink and stay drunk. All right, here we go. A Maryland man flips out at a McDonald's drive-thru when he doesn't get his fries. Meanwhile, don't try to steal a Secret Service agent's SUV. That would be my word to the wise. Man spends $21,000 cash for fake gold bars. Jewelry thief tells cops they are not supposed to be able to chase him in cars. And an airline in China accidentally sold tickets for $1.50, as in $1.50. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, giving birth to twins is not unusual, but only 3% of the population, believe it or not, are twins. Now, that said, a woman is making medical history not because she's pregnant with twins, but because she has 2 uteruses, and each one is carrying its own baby. To give you an idea of how rare that is, I will take an actual quote from a doctor related to the case. Quote, "It's really crazy," unquote. Now, the mother already has 3 children, so with the twins' arrival, she'll have 5. And to me, that qualifies as a big family. But they've got nothing on a family in India. Regarded as the world's largest family, it has 199 members, and they all live under one roof. Now, it used to be 200 people, but the husband died recently, leaving behind 38 wives, 89 children, 36 grandchildren, as well as about 30 additional in-laws that also live under the same roof. That is a lot of sex. But a lot of sex, that's a good thing. Most people enjoy sex, but a couple in Florida, they like sex a little too much. You see, they were busted for having sex on the side of the road, fully nude, in front of a bunch of people, including kids. And I hope you're sitting down for this. Yeah, they were arrested. But anyway, these are just some of the stories we've come across. Stories that left us with many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question. And this is how it works. You call us, we'll ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story with us, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
To be a part of the big show, the random question, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Deep underground the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
KISW. Oh, Machalas, away we go. Welcome to season 18, episode number 4001. What a large and in-charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Once again, the exciting return of your guess is as good as mine. Hot off the presses, we have the most overweight states in the United States. They say that obesity costs the U.S. healthcare system around $173 billion each year, according to the CDC. And while taxpayers all share the burden to an extent, some areas of the country have bigger issues with weight than others. So the report analyzed 31 key indicators across 3 dimensions: obesity, overweight prevalence, health consequences, and food and fitness.
I thought you say membership in the SEC.
By the way, Ted, the District of Columbia has the lowest percentage of obese adults at 24%. That's lower than a lot of the states. They also have the lowest percentage of physically inactive adults. I don't know what it is about Washington, D.C. They show up very well on this list all the time.
Which is wild to me.
Because living in the area and being sometimes in Washington, D.C., I know they have parks, I know they have trail systems, I know they have a lot of different things. I just never saw a lot of people exercising, like running up and down the street, or maybe I missed something.
I mean, I see the same percent of people jogging there as anywhere, but
the food is East Coast decadent.
I think it's this. I think because Washington, D.C. itself geographically is tiny. So a lot of people that live there do have a lot of money, or they're from out of town because they work for the Fed. The surrounding areas of Washington, D.C., I would argue, are some of the biggest areas in the country.
Vermont has the lowest percentage of diabetic adults, which is unique when you figure one of their bigger industries is maple syrup. Colorado has the lowest percentage of adults with high blood pressure. And the list goes on and on. We're not talking about the people who do good today. We're going to talk about the most overweight states in the United States.
Where do they have good food?
That's exactly what this is about. And some places have... I mean, it depends on your version of good, but yes. Then we have the top 10 favorite breakfast cereals of all times. Keep in mind, there's a list of 20. And on today, if you get 10 out of the 20 correct, we're going to give you the category.
Oh, you're going to get that.
Because I believe it is somewhat subjective. It's not just based on sales and everything else. It's based on what do you like. And that was the poll online. What do I like?
Right.
So we've got 20 of those in the world of breakfast cereals. And if you hadn't had a bowl of cereal in a while, you know that, it's not the best thing in the world for you. So we figure we do a little yin and yang there with obese states and cereals. So that's coming up with your guess is as good as mine. What else do we have for you? Not only today, but all this week on The Rock, BJ and Miggs, Ryan, our show, Taryn show, we all have tickets for you to check out Green Day in concert.
Right around the corner.
Yes, as they come to town September 23rd
2024.
Is this a new thing for people? You know what I mean? I just feel like
announce a concert about a year out.
Yeah, I don't remember a time. So many bands.
Either that or more than
that
I think a year out is normal. I think that there was one we were promoting that was 2 years. The Metallica.
Was that Metallica?
That was
like
like
a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half, 2 years, kind of far. But generally, they announce them a year out.
Right. And geography-wise, I haven't seen what they're doing as far as their road trips. A lot of times, Seattle will be one of the first stops on a tour, just depending on if they go counterclockwise.
Right.
So, and then on the other flip side of that, it is the last stop on the tour.
Right.
Just based on, how the bands travel and what cities they go to. So we do have a chance for you to pick up Green Day tickets. They're playing with the Smashing Pumpkins, BAM, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. Here's what they asked us to do. They said, could you come up with a secret word and then pick a random time, and then you give the word, and you text that word to 206-803-ROCK, 7625. So today we have picked the time. It's going to be 4:20.
Ooh. Oh, wow. That's a good time. Good time.
Yeah, we'll give you a chance to win tickets to see Green Day all this week. So 4:20, we'll give you that number. Also, we're 5 days away from Live Day going to prom night.
Correct.
Snoqualmie Casino. We did get a chance to talk to Ryan Castle today. Ticket sales are flying.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the show, Friday night, Snoqualmie Casino, head to KISW.com. Keep in mind, you got to be 21 age of older to get in. But Live Day goes to prom night. We're doing it at night this year. Doors are going to open at 6. Show's going to start at 7 with BJ and Miggs, and we'll come on after and do a Friday nighter. So there really won't be too much of an intermission in between.
Right.
We're just going to kind of go back to back and give you both shows in one evening. And we're doing it prom style. So, maybe look nice for a change because you're kind of headed to a prom.
Clean up a little bit.
And you're headed up
Take
to
a shower.
Snoqualmie Casino. But if you were thinking about going and you knew anybody who was interested, make sure that they know that those tickets are almost sold out.
Yeah, you want to get out.
So we're at that point. We didn't realize how damn big the room was.
No, talking to Castle today, I was like, wait, what? How many people? He was like, yeah, dummy.
Right. He's like that. I was like, wow, that's all right. So if you want to go, head to KISW.com because I believe on Friday, well, we'll probably announce it before that the show's been sold out. But if you were thinking about it, I know it's a few days away. Get in there and get yourself a ticket to the show. And today is the day we do our random question as we come off our 4,000th show hangover. It's all downhill from here, right? I mean, we've hit the. Basically, we just shot it. I mean, we're done.
It is. And honestly, I'm still kind of hurting.
How long will it take us to get to 5,000? Will we be here by? I mean, is that our last big milestone as far as the number goes?
I'm guessing about 4.5 years.
Is that what
Just
it takes to do
because-
1,000 shows?
Well, we did what? 4,000 shows in 18 years. So I just split it into fourths. So it averages about, I guess.
Thank you for everybody who checked out the show on Friday. Keep in mind, if you didn't get a chance to listen to any of the show, always just check out the Odyssey app. We have all the podcasts up there. You can listen to the entire Friday show and episode number 4,000. Also coming up, the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. You get more Men's Room Monday through Friday, and we'll do some props for the weekend. I know a lot of us in here had incredibly busy weekends.
Yeah.
I know that
I think all of us did.
Mike is now a roadie for the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, he's a big fan. But the Men's Room Happy Hour, if you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. Search for the Men's Room. You'll see the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. That basically just plays previous shows 24 hours a day. If you want to just listen to the Men's Room live and some old episodes, that's on there. That at 6 o'clock, we will break in for the Men's Room Happy Hour at episode number 495. Now, there's a milestone.
There's a milestone.
By the end of the week, we could hit 500. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know. We're doing one Friday?
probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
That'll be next Monday.
Monday.
It'll be a week from today. And what else do we have for you today? Oh, today is the day we do our random question. 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Danny, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
We're doing great, man. Danny, let's go with this one. I think this is a good place to start. When we were growing up, we all had certain things that were in our homes. And for the most part, they were standard items. What is something that was in your home growing up that you do not have in the place that you live now? It's just not a standard thing to have around the house.
Like a typewriter.
Correct. A sewing
landline
machine.
phone.
Maybe it's an ironing board. And an
You
iron.
don't have an iron?
No.
Really?
No.
I don't either.
I don't iron, but I know that I have one.
You have an ironing board.
Yeah, my wife irons.
Well, I mean, yeah. I just don't have an ironing board. My clothes are not, if I had to, and I'm not being this guy, I would absolutely go to the dry cleaner and forgot that I dropped something off.
Yeah.
They would have to call me. But typically I'll do that a week before if I have to go to a wedding or whatever the deal
Yeah.
is. I'll hit that up. But no ironing board, no spray and starch, no iron. I got rid of all that stuff when I moved into my
And I
place.
feel like a lot of shirts, if I want to, I'll just throw them in the dryer for a little bit.
Boom.
A lot of the clothes I buy are like wrinkle-free. So the shirts, the short-sleeve shirts, the pants.
I like wrinkle-free. I'm a big fan of wrinkle-free.
Yeah. So what did you have growing up in your home that you currently, it's not something that you own now?
Well, I mean, I have an iron probably, but probably not an ironing board. I don't know. I'd say maybe like a desktop PC.
Oh, good call.
That's
dude.
a great answer.
Good call.
Or a printer.
We've got a
I
printer.
have a printer.
You do have a printer.
I have a printer.
See, I couldn't do
Yeah,
that because
I
of the ink.
Actually,
I got a laser jet.
All
A
right.
toner.
Okay, I just
From
remember
back
having
when
to
I
go to
used to-
school.
how often do you run out of ink? 'Cause here's my problem with the printer. So I try to print everything
You're
in
low
black
on
and white.
yellow. It's like I don't print in yellow.
That's my thing. You're telling me I'm low on yellow. Like, I'm not low on yellow. I have not used any color. But now you won't let me print anything because I'm low on yellow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, it was back when I used to own my business, so it's just a straight-up black and white with a toner cartridge, and I have never not replaced. My business shut down 6 years ago. I still have the same damn toner because it prints like 1,000 pages before it runs out.
What
I
kind of business were you running?
I had a German auto shop.
Ah, okay.
For a while.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Das German Autos.
I'll tell you one thing that I, growing up, that everybody had, that I miss to this day, is a waterbed. And I know that sounds crazy, but I had great night sleeps on waterbeds.
Really?
Not the kind that don't have baffles in them.
Yeah, yeah.
But waterbed, man, that was my friend. I turned the heat up, turned the cool down. For some reason, I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
I thought they were really cool when I was a kid, but it's only because I didn't have one. And then I had the opportunity to sleep on one once. I didn't enjoy it. Like, it was disappointing for I was so excited to sleep on a waterbed. And then all night, I'm like, oh, that sucks.
They're a pain in the ass to make the bed, to put on the fitted sheet.
Yeah,
I would imagine. It's water.
Yeah, and it's really hard to get under there and make sure the corners are tucked in. There's no real corners on the corners.
Yeah.
So
and it's full of water.
It definitely seems like you wake up a lot of the time and you're laying on a blue piece of rubber
Right.
and you're stuck to it and you're sweating or whatever the deal was back in the day. But I still love that waterbed, man.
Do you have a nutcracker in your own? And I don't mean the kind that we break out at Christmas for decoration. I mean like
I do not have a handheld nutcracker.
I don't either. But growing up, it did not matter whose house you went to. They had a nutcracker, and the nuts were always available.
Right near a collection of tobacco pipes and a tin of...
Yes, it was number one pipe.
My grandfather had a spittoon because he chewed Levi Garrett.
Really?
Yeah. And he would sit there and spit, but it was next to his small table that had nuts on it.
I would say the nutcracker table, yep.
Yeah.
Candy dishes, those like everyone always seemed to know those butterscotches, those overrated ass.
Yeah.
But
What about you? Have we said house phone?
House
the
phone,
landline phone? Yeah.
Without question. You had them, I had them. Saloon doors going into your kitchen.
Yeah, I was annoyed as a kid when we got rid of those.
Dude, again, as a kid, those are the coolest things. Could you ever walk through those doors without pretending you were walking to a saloon as a cowboy?
No, and I
And,
would
like,
get
you-
my
you-
parents' keys. Here's a little trick for kids out there. If you put sets of keys and put it just like attach the keychain to your heel and your shoe, it sounds like you're wearing spurs.
So you had the saloon doors, the spur. You had the whole thing going on.
Oh yeah,
Or just even being a
Throwing 'em
latchkey
open.
kid. I mean, half the time now it's a push button combination on
Right.
your lock or whatever the deal is. But I like the saloon doors. They kind of break away they break up the kitchen from.
I liked them, man. Even though they served no purpose at all. I mean, like
I know it just felt cool
the
walking
kitchen to
through
the
them as a
dining room.
kid.
It didn't matter that they were there, but right, I liked pushing them up. What about? Did you ever have the big beaded curtains back then? that people loved?
Yes, we did.
Those
They
things
were
used to-
hanging indoor frames.
Again, like what is the point of this? It's
Because
in the door frame.
Your
but it
parents are
doesn't-
basically explaining to you that they smoke dope without you knowing it.
Yeah, that's the ultimate sign.
My mom used to burn incense all the time. I don't walk into a lot of places unless it's a bodega where I can smell
incense,
because
yeah.
they sell it on the front counter. But
I use these little incense matches. Number one for the bathroom.
All right.
But they do also do the other job.
Yes, they do.
How about a fuzzy lid on your toilet? Did you ever have that growing up?
We never did.
Or
My
a
grandmother
fuzzy
did.
carpet
I knew a
board?
lot of
What
people
about the
that
cushion
did.
on the toilet? Those
I
were
already
nice.
said that. That was nice.
Uh-huh.
The fuzzy lid, as a guy, it sucked because it always dropped the seat back down.
Right.
Like if you weren't
Yep.
pooping, then the seat would fall down. Then you'd have peeing on the fur, and people got mad. I'm like, I'm not trying to pee on your pet toilet here, man. It's just the thing won't stay up.
Same carpet that extended from your hallway into your bedroom, it's also extended in your bathroom. I don't know what it is about carpet in the bathroom that just still.
It's a bad idea.
It just freaks
It's
me out to
horrible.
this day.
It's off. It's
My-
rare
my-
to see
my
it.
grandmother has it.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, or like once in a while you'll stay in a small town in like a motel,
Dude, it's so
and there's
gross.
still carpeting. I mean, even
You
just
can see a black line going around the perimeter
Yes.
from where the mold is and everything else, where it's touching.
And
the
it's
baseboard.
always damp. Like
well,
it
it's
never
hard
fully
not
dry.
to. Like, look, I think everybody in this room could admit, like, there's sometimes for whatever reason, a couple drips just miss the toilet.
They do.
Like, you wipe it up, but it's like
But on carpet, it's like, man, now the stink
Oh.
comes out. Like, that's one thing, man. If you have carpet in the bathroom, like anything that's ever happened in your bathroom, it's almost like a box of baking soda in the fridge. Like every stink that has ever happened in your bathroom is stuck in that carpet.
Well, what about every once in a while when you go to wipe and a little raisin will drop out? You're like, oh, and then it'll
My bad.
bounce off the lid and hit the floor. You're like, it's carpet.
But now it's in the carpet, man.
It's carpet.
I can't find it.
I didn't feel it in there.
I put
but I
poop on the carpet, and I'm sorry. Somebody else a good one. It says a floor model TV.
All right. Yep. I used to have one not too long ago. 2003, I bought one.
That was a big ass HD thing.
I bought one of the first HD TVs. Which
That
was
may
a
have been the
corner unit
heaviest TV
ever.
That thing was ridiculous.
That's a good call. Like, people still, not everybody hangs their TV.
Right.
But at least it's like up on something.
Yeah,
like, I
don't
haven't seen a
hang
floor
mine,
model in
but
front
I
of it.
could.
Also,
But, yeah.
floor speakers, ones that were probably 4 feet high, that had 3 different tiers. You know,
What about a
mids, the
stereo
highs.
system? When I was growing up, man, the most important thing in my father's life was his stereo system, and that's all I aspired to do. It's like one day I'm gonna get a stereo that has your equalizer and this and that, all these different things, and big ass speakers. Now we got like a Bluetooth speaker.
Our buddy Gregor from the who does mornings over on the end. Saw him the other day, and he was in studio. I think they're interviewing somebody, whatever the deal was. But he had his camera. He has a very nice
actual camera.
A camera. And growing up, we had the mini ones that you would take with you on vacation.
Sure, the ones you give to kids.
Yeah, and you know, your parents might have a really nice camera that they would take. Like your dad would have a zoom lens.
Different lenses, right.
If you're doing some crazy crap like that, or but now the phone's kind of, you don't really need to have that type of thing.
You don't. I mean, that's the thing. I actually have a nice ass camera at home.
Is it digital or is it film?
So I have one that's film because there's just a different way you have to attack taking a picture, and I kind of enjoy the process of quote unquote creating it. But then the flip side is, I'm like, man, you can cut down on a lot of time. Just put this bitch into Photoshop off of my freaking phone, right? So it's not that I don't enjoy doing it, but now it's so much more cumbersome. So if I'm going like vacation, right?
Yeah.
That's the one time I'm going to take pictures of anything. If I'm going to take pictures, and I always debate, oh man, I should bring the camera. That I'm like, I'm not lugging this freaking thing around, dude.
Yeah.
I got one in my
remember,
pocket.
as far as saving time, okay, have you ever taken a picture with someone, or maybe you're taking a selfie with someone, or whatever the deal is, and typically it's not my male friends that do this, but on the other side, you say, oh, we need to take another one. Because I didn't look.
Right, I wasn't looking here.
We had a cameraman. You just took the picture.
You took the picture. It was what it was.
You didn't look at it. You got it developed. I mean, when you got him, you're like, oh, I don't look that good there. But either way,
that was life.
It was just
Right.
like you took a couple pictures and you moved on. That was,
Have you seen the commercial for the new Google camera thing on the phone?
no.
So this thing is, we take 3 quick pictures of us, all right? Ted was looking the wrong way and his eyes were closed. You can go back to the picture you took previously, basically just circle Ted's head and then Photoshop that in place of the actual picture you took. But I'm looking at this, just going, man, oh man. I have a friend, very good friend of ours, is a professional photographer. She does incredible work. But I'm looking at that commercial yesterday. I'm like, does this piss her off? You know what I mean? She puts all this time and effort and comes up with these great things. Or I can buy a camera and do exactly what you do in 15 seconds.
My stepfather, he would come back and he would get double prints of all the pictures from vacation.
Every time.
And then he would buy single slides. And we would all sit down and he had a slide projector. And we'd put it on the wall and we looked at our vacation after we were done.
Every time. I mean, it was tradition.
Yeah. The reason we asked, what did you used to have in your home, but you don't have it anymore? Here's a term your kids never have heard of. Whatever happened to the yardstick? If you are under the age of 30, maybe 40, a yardstick is like a ruler, but 3 times longer.
Yeah, we had one.
Everyone used to have one.
Yeah, right? And you like fold it out.
Yeah.
Someone brought this up online. They said, hey, we had 3 yardsticks in our house growing up, and they were hung up and put in corners and everything. Because now we have 0. The fun part is, no one on the thread could remember why in the hell we ever had them. The person who brought it up wanted to know, what is the practical reason to have a yardstick in general, even if it's now or 30 years ago? And someone did finally point out the obvious answer to the question. Yardsticks were always used for snagging stuff that had slid under the refrigerator or the washer or the dryer.
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
Yep.
Otherwise, yeah, I don't know that I used it to measure anything.
I mean, I guess if you were going to make a football field in your backyard.
Yeah.
More of the random question coming up. 206-803-ROCK.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
Hey, cat-loving couples dreaming of a proposal that includes your furry feline? Head on over to FelixPerfectProposal.com for a shot at winning over $4,000 for your dream ring and a special treat for your feline accomplice. Your engagement, your way. Let's make it happen together. Visit Felix, PURRFECT, proposal.com to enter today. This contest is not being run in connection with the solicitation of or the marketing of an insurance product.
At Carriage Home Health, we understand that you are most comfortable in your own home. Let our team of nurses and therapists provide comprehensive care for your post-surgical or chronic health needs. Our services are covered by Medicare, WellCare, and most Medicare Advantage plans. If you or someone you love needs home health care, visit us online at carriagehealth.com or call us at 425-519-1265.
Ah, the satisfying sounds of more sales in your business. And from the sound of it, your business is growing. But you shouldn't have to pay more to scale your business. With Stamps.com, you can import orders from wherever you sell online, find the lowest rates with the fastest delivery times, and instantly deliver tracking updates to your customers and stock up on supplies. Get started at Stamps.com today with code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random question 206-803-ROCK. Hello, Joe. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Random.
Hello, Joe.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. Joe, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see what we have for Joe. All right, Joe, let's go with this one.
All right.
What is the most people that you've lived with under one roof? Roommates, family?
Probably have to be family growing up.
How many people?
7 at once.
7. Wow, that's pretty hefty. Yeah. So
we seem to inherited all of our siblings' friends that didn't have anywhere else to stay, so they all came to our place.
Now, let me ask you some things that I have inherently observed with people who have large families. Do you eat incredibly fast?
Yes. Yep. That's a sure sign.
That's number one. You can always tell when someone has been brought up in a family of a ton of people because they eat fast, because they want to be the first person up to go get more food.
Right.
Because they're starving.
Yep.
That's telltale sign number one. What was the most difficult thing about living with all those people?
Bathroom time.
How many bathrooms are in the house?
2.
Out for 7 people.
And 1 was in the main bedroom, so that left 1 for 5 others.
So did you guys have a shower and bathing schedule?
Yeah, first come, first serve.
All right.
Who was the worst person to follow in the bathroom?
My younger brother.
Okay.
All right. There's always somebody you're like, man, please.
On purpose, I believe, too.
Oh, yeah, because you want it stink.
Of course.
Who was in charge of the laundry? Was one person doing it all, or were you all individually supposed to do your own?
I think it was 13 and up. You did your own.
All right?
Okay, that's fair.
And what type of meals were the common meals when you need to cook for that many people? Was it a lot of rice? Was it a lot of pasta? What type of food would your mom make?
A lot of meatloaf and hamburger helper.
Yep, that makes sense, man.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
Got that many kids.
And spaghetti.
Do you guys do you guys all get along now?
No.
Really?
No. None of us talk to each other.
None of you?
None of
Wow.
None.
What happened?
We all moved away and didn't want any more part of that.
Where did you move away from?
So I'm from a little town in Oregon, Hillsboro, and moved to Tacoma.
Okay. I've heard of Hillsboro. I'm not sure if I know exactly where it is. Oh, I do know where Hillsboro is. That's northwest of Portland,
Yep.
correct?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, I have been in Hillsboro.
Man, oh man.
More than one time.
So did it suck that bad growing up?
You didn't realize how bad it was until you got out and got your own place.
Okay.
Were you living on Were you living on a pumpkin farm? What the hell were you doing out there?
Right in the city.
Okay.
Trying to make it work.
All right. Okay.
Man, oh man.
I think the most people I've lived with is 7, but again, it was a number. 7 was the roommate number, but that was never the number of people
that were ever physically.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah. I mean,
the most I had was 5. 5 of us lived under one roof, but inevitably, when I got up any morning, there's probably 9 people there.
It just depended. If someone spent the night at their girlfriend's house and someone would crash in their bed, it was just a rotating.
I feel like everyone always brought their girlfriends to our crib, man. I don't know why that was. I tried not to anytime I could, because, look, at that age, man, you're talking like 20, 21 years old. When you can get laid, you're going to take advantage of that. So, like, I preferred to go to her place because, again, there's 6 dudes who would cheer you on, from the living room. We can hear you down here, man.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because we did it to each other. So I would rarely bring them by, at least not to spend the night. But most of the guys, I'd bring their girlfriends over, and it's just, man, as soon as they started having sex, we would just start razzing them.
The worst one was my buddy Brett. He just started dating. We all knew this girl, but they just started to date and, kind of start their thing. They ended up getting married. They're still married. They have kids to this day. So this is back in 1989. So the first time that we heard them messing around, and then they went into the bathroom. And much like Joe the caller, we had one bathroom on one floor, but that one bathroom was the only bathroom that had a shower in it.
Right.
There was a Pittsburgh toilet in the bottom of the basement.
It always count on that. Yeah.
Just a standalone toilet downstairs. It was one of those, but we heard them get in the shower together. So my buddy Chad took our mop bucket and we went into the kitchen and we filled. This is in the winter. We filled it up, freezing cold. I mean, this thing is freezing cold. Now they're in there. We open the door and realize that the entire bathroom is steamy. We crack it, because it was like an old skeleton key kind of. It was an old Victorian house, so there were really no locks on the door, so to speak, unless you put a latch in on your own. Yeah. So we open the door and the whole thing is steamy. So they don't really know that we are in there. We had like a black shower curtain. So Chad picks up this bucket, man, and you just hear the screaming.
Right.
He dumps it on both of them. I don't know what position they were in. I don't know what they were doing. I just know that was like, we were on pins and needles because
he's going to kill you.
Brett was a pretty strong guy, and he was built, and he held he used to get pissed off, just like he was one of those guys, but we had to do it.
Right. In spite of all of this.
We used to do it, I used to do it to my brother all the time.
Dump cold water on him.
Just a cup of cold water. It was like a constant game.
Yeah, exactly.
Up.
We thought it was great. We would do it to each other individually all the time.
Yeah.
But as far as, him having a girlfriend in there at the same time, that was pretty good stuff. The reason we asked what's the most people that you've lived with under one roof, this is going to be hard for a lot of people to believe. There's a village in the middle of nowhere in India.
Go ahead, try to pronounce it.
On the northeastern state. It's Baktong. And it's in the Mizoram area.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Home to the world's largest known family, 199 people who live under the same roof in a giant building.
It's like an I saw the picture of the place. It looks like it used to be an old apartment building or something, and they've just taken it over.
Kuziona was the patriarch of what was generally regarded as the world's largest family. Are you ready for 38 wives?
Nope.
89 children and 36 grandchildren. Now, Ziona passed away in 2021 at the age of 76 due to health complication caused by hypertension and diabetes, but his family continues to live under the same roof in an impressive living complex that he built in the hills of Baktong. Now, some of his children got wives of their own, some more than one, and the family member count now stands at 199 people. They all gather in a great hall of their home twice a day to eat, in what they say is a scene that looks more like a busy canteen than a family dining room.
But how do you pull that off?
Members share everything, from the daily workload to the food to the finances, and even though everyone wants to carry on the legacy, things are changing for the world's largest family. Here's what you need to know. This guy headed a Christian sect known as the Church of the New Generation, and was regarded by many as a prophet and a chosen man of God. Therefore, he faced virtually no opposition from the members of his community or his own family when he kept taking on new wives.
I just think that's a bad idea. I have
just
one.
seems insanity.
That's plenty.
If anything, local families gladly gave their daughters away to such a highly regarded man. They say that entire sect has about 2,600 members, most of whom live in that village, and they believe in a post-apocalyptic golden age during which they will be spared divine wrath and awarded special privileges. But either way, right now in that one roof, 199 people.
And it's family.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, dude, just general family drama. I cannot imagine being surrounded by that many members of my family.
No one there has ever gotten a new shirt.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That's so many people. That's just too. I mean, I grew up. There were some families like Bernie had 8 kids, but there was another family I went to grade school with, and they all went to our grade school till 7th grade. Then they went to some other school. But I mean, there was like 10 or 12 kids.
God.
And I remember going over there, and I was kind of shocked. Like, I mean, right? I had 2 siblings. Like, it might sound crazy, but like if you ate a hot dog, you want another hot dog, you got another hot dog. Not at that house.
Yeah,
right.
Like everything was spoken for, and it was like you can have, and you had to like eat in like shifts.
I do remember. Is it even fun at that point?
I do remember at family outings, we were always at the kids' table. There was always an area where, now anymore, I would rather have, 10 people sit down. But if it's my family, my kids are going to sit there too. If I have that. Back then, you just got put in the corner of a kitchen somewhere.
On the old fold-up table that they played
the
cards
card
on.
table.
Yeah.
Told to shut up.
Guaranteed that's where you sat. So like
It's all
Thanksgiving,
rickety.
Christmas, you're kind of excited to see family, but as soon as I got into town, I'm like, it's actually my hand is
Yeah, but
sitting
now
on my
you're-
seat.
Now you're sitting with your idiot cousin who you don't like that much, and he's always been a protagonist or
You know
whatever
who
the
you
deal is.
are.
I was the oldest, so unfortunately my brother, who was 7 years younger than me, the only good thing about being the oldest kid in this scenario is the fact that I got all my clothes new as I grew into them.
Sure.
My brother, who's 7 years younger, got a lot of my hand-me-downs. You have no idea how much style time passes in 7 years when you're a kid. As far as him wearing some of my hand-me-downs that were 7 years old, I beat the hell out of my clothes.
They actually saved them for 7 years.
He got socks, he got underwear, but as far as jeans that I didn't tear off,
Yeah.
shirts that were dress shirts, all my Sunday wears, so to speak, whether it was like hard shoes, dress up belts.
I got all my
shirts.
hand-me-down crap. And the problem for me was my brother was more of a collared shirt kind of kid. And I was more of I want a graphic of something obnoxious on a T-shirt kind of kid. But I got all those hand-me-downs, and it sucked because I didn't care that they were hand-me-downs. Like, that part didn't bug me. The thing that I hated was I hate the way he dressed. And I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it because it's old. I don't want it because it looks stupid and it's ugly, and I cannot believe a collar could possibly be that big. So the greatest thing for me is when I finally caught up to him in height.
Yeah.
And once I jumped past him, I'm like, the younger brother's getting new clothes now.
Sports teams too. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how you guys were, but like when I was a kid, I liked random sports teams. So like my brother had other random ones he liked. So I always hated trying to wear one of his hand-me-downs. It was like
the team you don't like.
Yeah, I think he was like a Lions fan or something. Then I went through a
Lions?
phase where I was a Browns fan in like middle school.
There's a picture of me that my daughter found when she went back to my mom's house, and I'm probably 5 or 6 years old. I have a sky blue suit on with a
looking good, buddy,
with a clip-on tie. And then there's a picture of my brother in that suit at the same age. And I'm telling you, when I say like the color was wide, like it was
If you jumped off of a roof, you would float down.
It was disco, like the lapels, like huge.
Like if you popped it up, you look like a vampire.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, yeah.
Random.
Hello, Nathan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Nathan, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, the story this is based on is a little bit morbid, but nonetheless. Pet or person in your lifetime, who has been, would you say, the most loyal to you?
Okay, so we adopted this golden retriever. I was about I think I was about 8, and that dude lived. I am 23 now. Just died a few months ago.
And was he your buddy the entire time?
Homie. Yeah, no, he was the homie. Like, because my stepdad was in the Army. We moved down to Georgia, and when I was in middle school, I was in cross country, so I used to have to go out and jog in the middle of the night. And I took him with me one night, and down in Georgia, they got wild hogs.
Yeah.
And those bastards, they're evil. They'll straight chase you. And I was jogging, and I just, behind me, I hear the snort noise, and it was like making me tweak out a little bit. And I turn around, and it's a big-ass hog, like, not chasing me, but kind of trotting behind me. The second I looked at it, and I kind of looked like a little scared, that dog went straight charging at it. And we had to take him to the vet because he got messed up by that hog. But he messed that hog up worse. Like, I just remember seeing, he was, like, gnawing on its muzzle and stuff. Like, just, he messed it up. Like, he messed that damn dog up. That damn hog.
Is one of the reasons that you were running at night because it gets so hot and humid there during the day that you really have to just wait for the sun to go down to be able to go out and exercise?
Oh, yeah, it was stupid bad. It was that, and the place I used to run on, it was around an old, not an old, but an active, it's like an Air Force jump site or something like that. So you couldn't use it during the day, but during the night, everybody used to use it as a little fake track.
Okay. How many interactions did you have with wild hogs during your time there?
Oh, so one of the ones that stands out the most to me is we were getting ready to move up to Seattle. It was like right before I started listening to you guys. So we moved up to Fort Lewis, and I was like 13, and we had all our stuff packed up. We were letting the dogs out one more time, and we just hear the dogs freaking out in the backyard, and we're like, what the hell is that? So we go outside, and there's this giant pig just hanging out outside of our fence. And this is like one of those cookie cutter neighborhoods where like it's super compact and you get all those houses together. And this pig just wandered in here and was like hanging out outside the fence.
You can't eat those, can you? Because they're wild, right?
You can. You just have to be super careful about cutting them. Because I remember my stepdad was telling me about it. And you have to be super careful with cutting them because they eat all sorts of weird, like, mushrooms and stuff, and, like, weird plants that if you, like, eat the wrong one, you won't die, but you'll get sick as hell for a minute.
Okay. All right. Damn. Interesting. What about, when you moved away, did you ever go back and see your dog again? Was he excited to see you?
Oh, yeah. Anytime, even, like, 2021, it was when I moved back to Utah. My stepdad came by, and he had the dogs. The golden retriever, Marty was his name. He came running up to me, and he was blind as hell, but, like, he recognized my smell or something because he was freaking out. And then I was, like, feeding him fries all night. I got In-N-Out burger. And I was just feeding him fries, like, all night because I was smoking.
Yeah.
So
and In-N-Out has horrible French fries.
Here, you take the best.
Yeah, you take the fries, dude.
Animals time.
Absolutely.
Have a French fry, dog.
Please, someone eat these things.
Those hogs are no joke, though.
Yeah.
How big do they get, man?
It depends on where you are in the country.
Because obviously Arkansas, clearly, well known for that.
Arizona's got a problem right now.
Florida's got it. I mean, it seems like most of the Southeast has an issue with them.
And Canadians have been having a problem with them, too. Aren't they coming down from, like, Canada into Minnesota?
Yeah,
I don't know about... I know Arkansas always had them.
Right, hence the Razorbacks. I mean, they're kind of...
Right, but then, like, they really... Like, the population... like popped, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you could just hunt them I don't know there's a ton of restrictions because there's too many.
I don't think there are. I think if you see one, please shoot it. Okay, I'm more than happy.
Reason we asked pet or person the most loyal thing in your lifetime. Rich Moore, 71 years old, and he went hiking with his dog at Blackhead Peak. This is in Colorado. That's a mountain just east of his home. He went on a hike on August 19th. He never came back. So, Taos Search and Rescue, they've been trying to find this guy for a while. So they did everything from dropping helicopters below the mountain peak. They were west of the mountain. They were east of the mountain toward the trailhead. They did find his car parked. So the search and rescue started from there. Once they found his car, the team, however, unable to find more. Then on October 30th, okay, so he went missing on August 19th.
August 19th.
This is months later. On October 30th, a hunter... found in the Rio Blanco drainage, about 2.5 miles east of the peak, he found the body of Moore, according to the Denver Gazette. Moore's white Jack Russell Terrier, Finney, was sitting alive next to Moore's body.
For a month and a half?
It was so steep in the area, we had to go get him by helicopter because of where he was.
Jesus.
When they got down there, they noticed that something was sitting beside the body. His cause of death has yet to be determined. Finney was taken to a veterinarian and has since been reunited with the family. The elevation that they found him was about 12,500 feet.
Damn.
So that was pretty high up there, even though Colorado's obviously...
That dog was just chilling.
The dog stayed with him the entire
For
time.
a month and a half.
He's been missing since August 19th.
That's insane, man.
That is crazy.
Because usually they say, like, your dog eventually will eat you or something like that, but I guess this dog, like, nah, he's not tasty.
No.
Damn.
I just can't believe the dog survived. It had to fend for itself.
Right.
It had to hunt. I mean, all these things that are not really instinctual to a domesticated animal. And he was able to pull it off somehow, I guess.
And then would always come back to the body.
More of the random question coming up. 206-803-ROD.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fixed fire. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow Rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow Rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Deep underground the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or Old Bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fixed fire. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Want more Men's Room content? Follow the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app and check out my live stream, A Moment with Mike Hawk and Nothing in Particular with Steve the Thrill Hill. Going live Thursdays and Fridays at 1 exclusively on the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, don't forget we got secret word coming up for your next chance to win Green Day tickets at 4:20. We'll give you the word and then text that to 206-803-ROCK. You can see Green Day next year. How about that? Along with Smashing Pumpkins.
Anyone want to make a dollar bet on whether or not Miles forgets at 4:20?
Well, how many times this week? It's going to be more than
week.
More than one.
I'm going to say 3 times this week. You'll do the
come on. I'll at least be 50%.
You think?
Yeah.
Out of 5 days, you're going to go 50%.
Well, yeah.
I guess 4 days because we're doing live night at the end of the week, right? So,
yeah.
All right, so you said 2 days.
We're going to pre-record one for the guaranteed future repeat on Friday. So that's a lock. So right now, I've already got one guaranteed day in there. All right, in the meantime, it is a random question 206-803-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Candy. Welcome to the men's room.
Oh, my God. Candy, you might have to call us back because our phone is
just call us
messed
back.
up. I don't know if I can put up with that.
The Disney boys.
Yes, exactly.
We can never predict when that's going to happen, right? There's absolutely no tell.
The demonic thing.
Or again, if she calls back and that's actually her voice, well, that'll throw us for a loop.
Sorry, Candy.
We'll wait on Candy in the meantime. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. Tony. The hell out of here. Tony, let's go with this one.
Hey.
Who busted you having sex, Tony?
My mom.
Oh, how old were you?
Came home early from work.
Now, was she angry about it? Did she never bring it up again? How did that work?
Oh, I got a good old talking about the safety of raincoats.
I see. Did your girlfriend have a hard time coming over and being in front of your mom or talking to your mom? Did she feel uncomfortable after that?
Oh, the mother despised her after that. I desecrated the home, and the waterbed was clapping pretty loud. So, yeah, it was not something she wanted to face.
Okay. But I mean, look, you're her son. She's never going to not love you, understand that, and everything else.
Sure.
But when you're on the other side of the equation, it wasn't that I got busted, but our parents found out.
Right.
And then they called each other. So from that point on, whenever I went over to my girlfriend's house, it was a lot different. There was just
Was her father there?
Yeah.
I would not go to that house.
Well, I don't know if it was my own paranoia. Maybe nothing changed. But for me, I felt like it changed.
Nothing's changed. You're sleeping with his daughter.
Right. Like, and people know it, but to be caught in the act or
It's
have your
entirely
mother is different.
Right.
And that changes with age, too.
What do you mean?
Like, when you're a teenager, they're not sure.
Right.
But I mean, like, when you're in your 20s and stuff, especially for me, like, when I got to like my late 20s and early 30s, so there's a few women I dated. It's like, yeah, obviously, I'm having sex with your daughter.
Right.
I'm here for a barbecue.
I hope that's how you open the conversation. I'm Ted. It's nice to meet you. You know, right? You know I'm having sex with your
everyone
daughter.
does.
I've been putting it down.
Everyone does.
And I'm telling you, she a freak, brother.
Even when my daughter would show me a picture of her boyfriend, and I would look at him and I go, that's the guy that's having sex with my kid.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was having a conversation
with
with
teenagers. You can, I don't know, but I'm just saying you could kind of go, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But like, they're in their mid-20s, unless you're super religious.
I mean, come on.
They know.
Yeah.
It's talking about because my daughter's actually her birthday is today. She's 13 years old, right? So I'm like rolling up on it, talking to some other parents, and the woman that I'm talking to, she goes, well, look, man. She points over to her husband, and she goes, when he met my parents, they understood. We're having to say blah blah blah. I said, right, but to Ted's point, you're an adult. And I said, the thing is, even if a guy comes over and he says, look, Mr. Hill, I just want to be straight with you, man. I fully respect your daughter. We really click. I think she's a wonderful sense of humor. You've raised a fantastic kid. Boy, I believe you. None of those are my issue with you. You know what my issue is with you. There's only one. Everything, I don't care. Good, I'm glad you like her. But you want to have sex with her. That's right.
But it feels like if it's older, like for my mom, she lives with my grandmother. She's taken care of her for over 20 years, but she has never been on a date. There's a guy who's
never been on a date.
Never been on a date. Not to my knowledge.
Not to
my knowledge. She
might be swinging that while he ain't around, brother.
So there's a guy that lives down the road, and his wife had passed. She'd been battling an illness for a number of years. A couple of years go by. They go to the same church. Blah blah blah. He lives literally three houses down from where my mom lives, and he'll help her out with things around the house if she needs stuff done like that. And he always asks her out, and she told me he asks her out all the time. And I'm like, why don't you go out and have sex with this guy? Why not? It's been years. I mean, just go out, have fun. If one thing leads to another, like, good.
Right.
Where if it's below me, I'm like, you're the guy that's having sex with my daughter.
Exactly.
And with my mom, I'm like, no, man.
Go live.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun. I bet she's nuts.
Get your pump on, Mom.
Exactly. Come on, Mom. Have some fun. What the hell's going on? Please, someone have sex with my mom.
I say to my mother all the time now, too. I'm like, just get out of your place you're in. Like, go to a community.
Do something.
I'm like, move to the village. She's not a big drinker. I'm always like, I don't start drinking wine at 3 p.m. Like, who cares? You already raised the kids, your kids, like, they're grown. Like, go have fun.
And she's retired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
She's got a pension. Like, you know what I mean? She worked at the AFL for 30 years.
Go live a little.
Reason we asked who busted you having sex after being caught having fully nude sex on a Florida causeway in front of children and other witnesses. A woman told cops it was always a dream of mine to engage in such a public tryst, while her male companion showed zero remorse when arrested. After receiving multiple 911 calls around 9 o'clock on Friday night, sheriff deputies responded to the causeway in Dunedin, Florida, which is right near Clearwater in the Tampa.
What's a causeway again?
Bridge over water kind of a thing, I think. Is that the causeway one of those big, long bridges that are, forever?
I think so.
I think that's what that is. Like maybe going over Tampa Bay or whatever the deal is. They're having fully nude sexual intercourse in the presence of the victims.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. On the side of the causeway, cops found Sarah Fakis and Robert Clark. She's 55, he's 60, fully nude on top of one another. Clark says he was on his back with his genitals fully exposed. A witness described the pair's encounter as...
I don't even know if you can say it. Just show Mike. It's an actual quote from a witness, and it's very funny.
I don't know if we can do that. They're going to town on each other.
I think it's the second word.
Yeah.
They're going out.
I can't believe they put that in an article.
That's what blew me away. I'm like, really? That's the quote.
She said, this has always been a dream of mine while being taken into custody there.
It's kind of like saying gut to butt, only it's...
a little more crass.
Correct.
Cops say they showed zero remorse that multiple juveniles had witnessed the act. He declared the children should be at home and not on the causeways. Well, that guy said, hell with it. I'm going to have sex here. They both purchased Florida condos in 2021, and they live, I guess, beside each other. So they have been charged with lewd and lascivious exhibition, which is a felony. He is still being held in the county jail in lieu of $50,000 bond. He's been ordered by a judge to have no contact with any children. Along with an exposure of sexual organs count, he was hit with felony narcotics charge after cops found some pills inside a container in the woman's purse. She was freed from custody Saturday after posting $2,150.
Right. His is $50,000. She posted like $2,100. But that's why it helps to quote unquote show remorse.
Random.
You ever see what the guy looked like? He looked like a guy that would say all the things that he said in that article. Hello, Candy. Welcome back to the men's room.
Hola again.
Hola. Candy, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, Candy. This is a scenario here that no one ever wants to think about, but inevitably it's going to happen to all of us. So, Candy, the day you pass on, all right? People are going to go in your home. They're going to go through your belongings. Your kids, whoever it is, your partner in crime, they're going to have to go through, it'll be their job to look through all of your stuff and determine what they want to keep or what you've designated that goes to other people, the whole deal. What are you hoping that you get rid of? Or what are you hoping that they don't find that you own right now? Let's just say something unexpected happened. Right now, meteorite crashes through your home, hits you on the back of the head, boom, you hit the floor, you are done. Right now, if I came in and I'm your son and I'm going through your crap, what is one thing that you hope I don't find that you own?
It would be probably some nude pictures.
Nude pictures of you?
Yes, I probably should get rid of them.
Why do you still have nude pictures? Were they like tasteful nudes or were these straight up like, hey, I'm horny, come here and get some of this?
They were tasteful nudes when I had a really young body.
All right, well, that's fair. I was going to say, like, I would never, like, want to keep nude pictures of myself so I could check it out every once in a while.
Right.
So it's not for sexual gratification. It's more for the fact that, hey.
Well, if Candy hands us her pictures, they'd be for sexual
for somebody else.
Yeah.
For somebody else.
How long have you had these pictures?
Oh, since I was in my 20s. I can bring them to you guys. How about that?
Are they Polaroids?
Actually, a couple of them are. Yes, indeed.
I mean, they'd have to be.
All right. Do you remember the person who took the pictures?
Yes, a first husband. Mm-hmm.
And whatever happened to them? In other words,
he died.
Okay, so there's more pictures out there, more than likely.
Okay, no way.
So someone's already, he had some of these pictures too. You didn't keep them all, right?
He only kept one, actually.
And someone found that picture.
And that's the one he used for Happy Time. So when he passed, did you find anything strange, like on the top drawer of the nightstand on his side of the bed?
Nope. I think his next wife probably found that one picture and got rid of it.
All right. Okay. But other than the nude pictures, you really don't have anything that, you know,
no weird sex
would
toys
shock anyone, like an old bong or something like that?
No. Pretty ordinary stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Okay. All right.
Just naked candy.
That's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah.
Naked candy. I like it.
So the reason we asked what embarrassing thing do you own that you hope no one finds, they say when you die and your loved ones go through your stuff, are they going to like what they find? Some people think now it's a good idea to choose someone before you die and give them the responsibility of deleting and or destroying anything incriminating and embarrassing that you leave behind.
I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But then the flip side is the kids still live at home. So life's a little different when the kids are still in the house. But I get the feeling when they move out, we might, let's spice things up. That's the stuff I wouldn't want them.
All right, how do we know Tisha Campbell Or Tisha Campbell? How do we know her?
She's an actress.
I know. What stuff has she been in? I'm not sure if I know.
Tisha Campbell was like late 90s movies.
Was she Martin's?
I was gonna say, I think she was on Martin too.
Okay, she was Martin's girlfriend on the show.
Gina. Her dad just passed away. And she says, Dad probably should have done just that, because when she and her friends went through his stuff after he died, they found his secret stash of porn DVDs. Luckily, though, she thought it was hilarious, and Tisha posted a video where she reads off some of the titles, including White Hose with Bros.
Oh, all right.
The captain, she's like, well, my dad would have loved this. Hopes this makes someone smile. Love on each other, y'all, and laugh often. Thank you, Daddy, for helping me appreciate every single moment. So, yeah, see.
What was the name of it?
White Hose?
One of them, White Hose with Bros.
White Hose with Bros. Somebody here says, is anyone else going to acknowledge that Candy just offered to bring her nudes in for you guys? We don't need her nudes.
No, it's okay.
I'm not telling her not to.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with vintage pornography, or what do they call that? Erotica, so to speak. Or vintage erotica.
Doesn't that just mean it's old naked pictures?
Yeah.
Hey, no offense to Candy, right? It's 2023. We don't need somebody to bring us in Polaroids.
We don't. Because then what are we going to do with them?
Yeah.
This is what Candy used to look like.
We'll post them up on our website.
Vote now.
Random.
Hello, Travis. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, liquor and whores.
All of you, too. All right, let's see here, Travis. Okay, what was the story about the day that you were born? The story about the day you were born.
Oh, boy, that's horrible.
We're starting well.
Yes, we are. Well, my mother told me they had to put her on bed rest for 6 months because if she got up, I might fall out.
Oh, so you have some older brothers and sisters?
Oh, yes.
All right. How many more brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
So she was seriously on bed rest for 2/3 of her pregnancy?
Yes.
And just because they didn't want the baby to fall out of that gaping uterus?
I mean, good Lord, I don't want to fall on my head. It's still soft.
Yeah. How about the actual day that she gave birth to you? Was there a story behind that?
No, it's just 26th of October and 3 o'clock in the morning, and the doctor didn't have a problem getting me out, per se, I guess. Like, he just put on a catcher's glove and just said, hey, throw it in.
So just like, plug your nose and cough.
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of like a physical.
All right. Did your dad pass along his unusually large penis to you?
Oh, no. He gave it to my little brother.
All right.
No, check this out. My little brother is a tripod. He's the only Anderson who's not 6 foot. But he's like 5'9".
And got all the penis. He got none of the height, but all the penis.
Like, this dude cannot fall over. He can't. It's just like
I'll take that over the height. If you ask me which one I'd rather have, like, enormous penis. I don't mind the height issue.
I mean, I'm 6'4", so I've been used to 6'4". Yeah, I'd shave a few inches off.
Right.
I'm 6'2", but no, this guy is he's like a gyroscope.
Gyroscope?
Yes. His tail goes around everywhere. He cannot fall down.
Is he a single man?
No.
Oh, he's wasting it. He's wasting it then.
Yeah, I know that's right, because he should have been a porn star. I'm like, I seen it one time, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're describing this like someone seeing Bigfoot. And there's one time I saw
it was like seeing Bigfoot. Okay?
Well, when you look at it,
I'm his older brother, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, when you look at his girlfriend, you know why she's smiling.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The only thing I've heard about the story when I was born was that my grandmother was very insistent that she storm into the hospital to introduce. My grandmother thought very highly of herself, apparently.
Okay.
She was the socialite in the small town that we grew up in.
So
she knew every nurse, she knew every doctor, she knew everything.
So was it important to her to let everyone know that this is her
grandbaby, right?
Okay.
So she comes into the hospital. From what I understand, she was wearing some type of fur coat. to give you an
All right.
idea of this person.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my grandmother was one of those people who probably used a cigarette extender when they were popular.
Right.
She had that look about her, like Cruella de Vil, but just done up. So she comes in and says, "I want to see my grandbaby," that kind of thing. And I guess they said, "Oh, well, typically we don't do this, but I'm in the box in the waiting area or whatever." She storms in there. Of course, you're not supposed to go in that room. But this is before that time. My grandmother knew the nurse. She didn't care.
Right. These rules don't apply to
I
me.
want to hold my grandbaby. So apparently she picks me up, and this is the first time that I've really been held that way. I was laying down.
Yeah.
And so when she picked me up, she put my head on her shoulder and held me and cradled me. And apparently I essed all over
a fur coat.
That fur coat that she had. I mean, just everywhere. And immediately she put me back in the box and she marched the hell out of the hospital.
That was it.
And she didn't see me until I came home a couple days later.
One thing I heard, no particular complications, but I guess I was covered in hair when I was born, so the husbands could not be in the delivery room back then. And so my mother gives birth to me. My father walks in. She turns me around. She said, "Your father looked at your fuzzy ass," and basically was just like, "Oh."
Yeah.
That's like, cool, great.
Reason we asked what's the story about the day you were born. Kelsey Hatcher. She's set to receive quite the Christmas gift this year. December 25th is the due date for her twin girls, which will give her and her husband, Caleb, a total of 5 children, ages 7 and under. But while finding out they had 2 little ones on the way was a big surprise for the Hatchers, the Alabama woman's pregnancy was a big surprise for much of the medical world, as she has a double uterus, each with its own cervix, and she's now pregnant in both uteri.
Jeez.
The outlet notes that Hatcher has long known about her anatomical problem, or just difference, which is usually enough, but this virtually unseen type of pregnancy adds another layer to her extraordinary experience. It is very, very rare. According to OBGYN specialist, maybe 3 per 1,000 women might have that. And the probability of you having a twin in each horn, they say, is really crazy.
Each horn?
Each horn is what they call it.
I guess that's what you call the uterus when you really know it well.
Yeah, they explain that a female fetus typically has 2 separate tubes, and that eventually they join together to form the uterus. In cases like Hatcher's, however, the tubes never fuse, and 2 separate organs are formed, with either one a cervix that both share, or a cervix that forms for each uterus. And that's what she has. So how her baby's coming to the world will be interesting. Contractions for each uterus could start at different times.
That's the crazy part about this.
And the infants could be born hours, days, or even weeks apart. The twin girls will join the Hatcher's other 3 children, 7, 4, and 2. Couple says that for them, this is the third one, was supposed to be the last one. I don't know what happened. We are grateful for the blessings, but this will definitely be the end.
That is so weird. Like, you're twins. Which one of us was born first? Oh, she was born 2 weeks before you. But you're twins.
That's right. More of the random question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
If you're a business owner, you know these sounds mean sales. And from the sound of it, your business is growing. Whether you're fulfilling orders from your home office or warehouse, Stamps.com helps you stress less about mailing and shipping and spend more time doing what you love most. I mean, growing your business. But as you grow, so does the need for efficiency. Stamps.com simplifies your shipping and mailing process. Import orders from wherever you sell online. Find the lowest rates with the fastest delivery times. Instantly deliver tracking updates to your customers. And buy shipping and mailing supplies when you run low. Save time and money on mailing and shipping. Get started at Stamps.com today with code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Our Green Day tickets going up. We'll give you the secret word. At 420, when you get the word, you text that to 206-803-ROCK. 206-803-7625. For your chance to see Green Day Smashing Pumpkins next year. Pretty sure that's at T-Mobile Park, believe it or not.
If they don't have a name change in that time.
September the 23rd. Yeah, they probably have a different spot.
Just saying, Jesus.
Yeah, I got that secret word all this week. Taryn has one of those tickets coming up tonight for you as well. In the meantime, it is our random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Justin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Random.
Liquor and no whores.
Liquor and whores. Justin, welcome to the program. And the random question. All right, let's see here. Okay, we'll go with this one. What is the first toy that you remember getting that you loved and you actually played with a lot? Like, we all get toys growing up. Some are better than others. But what's the one toy that kind of stands out from your childhood? You're like, that was badass.
I mean, it's a tough one. I was always into sports, so I'm trying to think back to something that really stuck out.
Did you have a Nerf football?
Yeah, we had Nerf footballs.
Did you have a Nerf basketball hoop?
Yeah, I'd say toy. I mean, I guess it's kind of a toy, but the one thing that was like one of the coolest things I ever got was my BMX bike when I got that for Christmas.
All right.
Yep, that's a win.
I mean, we used to have race car tracks that we could get.
Yeah, the electric ones?
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
They were fun.
Yeah, the Evel Knievel and the race car track. The slot racing, I believe they called it, right?
Also,
right,
had a guy
with
the little trigger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, we had that growing up. Kind of like G.I. Joes were always like a nice haul.
Handheld electronic games, when they came out, that was a big deal.
I had a small arsenal of fake toy guns.
And as a kid, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Dong. Yeah.
Dong.
Trying to think what else was...
I mean, Evel Knievel. Like that was a guaranteed toy that I would play with.
Yeah. Some people had little cars that were actual electric cars. You've seen them now.
I remember those, man. I never had one.
I was too old for those. But all my friends, younger siblings. But I thought it was awesome. Like, because I had a big wheel. A big wheel was fun enough.
I didn't get a big wheel.
You talking about like a power wheel?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It seemed like everybody else had the toy that I wanted. It wasn't that I didn't have nice toys or had toys, but it always seemed like there was something that I wanted. That you always had to wait 6 months, 8 months to get it.
I mean, the only toy I really coveted, and it's back to the big wheel, because everybody had a big wheel. And I had a bike, but you did different things on the bike than you did with the big wheel. And all the kids in the neighborhood had the big wheel. So we would do races and stuff, but I didn't have a big wheel, so I get my bike. So I won every time, but it wasn't fun.
Skateboard, dangerous. Banana board. I used to get on that thing all the time and just absolutely take all the skin off my body. Pogo stick was another one.
Did you have a pogo stick?
It caused a lot of injuries with myself and my friends because we would just try to see how long we could stay up.
Of course.
Or how many bounces we could make or whatever. And if you're not used to using a pogo stick, there's a little bit of a learning curve on it.
Yeah, I discovered that I'm not built for them.
For a pogo stick?
Yeah, just as a kid, because one of my friends had one. He lived across the street, and you'd hear him bouncing up and down in the garage. And he's like, hop on, man, give it a try. And obviously I wanted to do that. And what I didn't realize is that if you're at any angle than anything other than completely straight, you go in that direction.
Yep.
So my head met the side of his garage on my first bounce. I am done.
I would say there's a funny meme going around. For me, the big one was the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
All right.
This was a massive toy. It was expensive. I never had one. Man, I can remember the kid I went to grade school with, Paul. I can't remember his last name right now, but he had one. And like there was a few of us in grade school that like we would scheme ways to hang out at his house
just
to play with that aircraft
on the same
carrier.
on the same equivalent for girls was the Barbie Dream House. I always wanted the Death Star when Star Wars toys came out.
I never got the Death Star.
That kind of changed my my toy collecting as far as what
It
I was
changed
interested
everything,
in.
man. Yeah.
So I was more into the Star Wars toys, but the expensive stuff like the Millennium Falcon and all these other things.
You're not getting those.
I did not get anything like that.
No, I never got those.
An action figure or two.
You know what I wanted? You know, all I wanted as a kid, man, because Star Wars is huge. Kiss is on top of the world. I wanted one of those damn Kiss dolls. I mean, I was going to like give my life for one of these. I would beg my parents every year, Christmas and birthday, like, look, I know you're not going to buy me this on a whim. I can establish that. I got a birthday coming up. What do you want for your birthday? Like, you know what I want for my birthday, man. And as a little kid, I was so excited about those things. Never got one. Like, I'm bitter about it now.
You know, back to school, yes, you had to go out and buy your Trapper Keepers and your pencils and all the general things that you needed to do and take the grocery store bag and wrap all your books in it so you wouldn't ruin the covers. But
make sure you wrap the book while it's closed. I mess that up every year.
I never got what was the paper? It was like that clear, like tacky paper you could put on there.
Yeah,
But I'm with Miles. We always use brown bags from the grocery store.
But what defined you was your lunchbox. As far as what your interests were, whether it was the NFL.
It's your billboard to the world.
Whether it was Star Wars, G.I. Joe, whatever you were into, that kind of told everybody what you were all about. There was a Kiss lunchbox.
I never got one of those. And my parents, I don't understand. I was a Kiss head. Like, no matter what you asked me,
Trapper
what I
Keeper
wanted.
had the same stuff. They started to decorate those as well. So
that became a big deal. But the only lunchbox I had was the Space 1999 lunchbox. That's how you knew I was a cool kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, that thing got me out of an ass whipping once. I ended up clocking this kid on the head with the thing, dropped him.
I gotta say, as an adult, I think the one Christmas, and I've gotten some good gifts as an adult.
Yeah.
That damn crock pot my mom got for me one year. That might be the most used Christmas gift I ever had in my life.
You're still using it?
Yeah, and I've had the same one for, I don't know, a dozen years.
Ted, go to a chili cook-off or something like that, even if it's just a community thing, man. There's somebody who brings in a crock pot that they've had for 35, 40 years.
And it looks...
like the old school kind of yellow-looking one.
It's got some grease on the outside of it. There's flowers on it or some crap. That thing still works. I think those things are indestructible. I think they're too simple to mess up. Because, honest to God, man, if you get a crock, it's almost a lifer.
It is. I mean, we bought a crock pot, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Still got it. We've bought another crock pot since then. But not to replace it, just to use in addition, you know?
Yeah.
Right, I was saying a couple weeks ago, right? Like I made pulled pork in it on a Saturday and then made meatballs and threw them in there on a Sunday for football.
Ooh.
Just double dip it.
Man, it's so easy just to put it in there and walk the hell away. And then even if you could go to the grocery store, you do some other things, you come back in your whole house, you're just like, oh, man.
Smells so good.
Especially the pork. I just put in a small pork shoulder, but like I had friends coming over. We were going to carve pumpkins. So you're right. I got up, started watching game day at like 7 a.m, threw that sucker in there. And then by like 5 or 6, it's like, here we go, shred it up.
I've never heard
You really don't have to do anything.
I've never heard anyone said, boy, I messed up that crock pot meal.
You're right.
I don't care what you put. You can put a turd in there and with some stock.
Are you cooking a turd?
I will say this. The only time I really screwed up in my crock pot was making the chicken and salsa recipe, which is so simple.
Yeah.
One day before work, I was throwing it in there, forgot the salsa. I came home and there was just sad little chicken breasts, all dried out. I mean, just pathetic looking.
Razor asked, what's the first toy that you remember getting? The National Toy Hall of Fame announced its newest inductees, and they only do like 4 a year.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5, right?
So to give you an idea, baseball cards got in this year.
All right.
They've been around since 1863. But baseball cards, one of those things that I collected as a kid. I'm still unsure of. For some reason, I thought that one day these would be worth money.
Because that's what everyone told you.
But I don't believe they are.
They're not really.
I have full sets.
Because so many people started doing it that it kind of drove the price down.
Not only that, but in our day, when you traded a card with your buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He brought over a shoebox full of cards. Now, the corners of these things are all yammed up.
Yeah.
They got creases in some of them. So you didn't know that the value needed to be the fact that this thing basically had never touched human hands.
Of course.
So I didn't know any of that. Cabbage Patch Kids got in as well. They debuted in 1982.
They were massive when they came. I never understood the attraction of those, but I remember when they came out. That's the first time that I saw on the news people getting in fist fights on like Black Friday. So when these toys were introduced, like their popularity, it's hard to explain, but it was like a massive, massive paradigm shift for childhood. So I remember watching the news. Christmas is coming up. And I can't, it was like a Target or something like that, but they had like 15 left because that was the big toy that everyone's buying. And it showed, remember, these two women look like just regular housewives, man, and they were throwing haymakers at each other, fighting to get their hands on these last Cabbage Patch Kids.
Right.
And I'm like, man, that's a lot of violence for an ugly, ugly-ass toy. That doesn't do anything.
That's crazy. My wife tells a story about her Cabbage Patch doll. I don't know if it's appropriate enough for the air, but she was really disappointed in her Cabbage Patch doll.
Inappropriate Cabbage Patch doll.
Well, first of all, they couldn't find them because they were sold. All of them were sold.
Santa left a note in my house.
Yeah, I've heard this, yeah.
So she got a knockoff one from Baltimore. So when she took her Cabbage Patch doll to the parties, it was a little bit different than everybody else's Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah.
Just a lettuce head kid.
Oh, no, the skin tone was a little bit different on that thing. The whole thing, like, this is supposed to be your baby.
Yeah.
But did you adopt it?
What are you, a famous actress?
Little Jewish kid went to Africa and adopted a baby.
Are you on the set of Webster?
Dude, I'll tell you what. I don't know how it is nowadays, but when I was growing up, there was a few malls you could go to. But if we went to PG Plaza, first of all, it's a plaza, so it lets you know. You've never seen more Black Santas than you have in that mall.
Yeah. I mean,
like all the figurines, everything. And it would just be like me and my cousins. And I remember my one cousin, she was just littler. And she was like, is Santa black? And I remember me and my cousin like, I think in this mall he is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think Santa could be whatever color you want him to be. But
Then, of course, we have Nerf. The first Nerf product was a 4-inch just foam ball.
All right.
Parker Brothers sold it in 1970. They built it as the world's first official indoor ball.
Okay, all right.
Because one thing your parents used to tell you all the time.
All the time.
Balls go outside. You never were
We
able
had this conversation with Mike. Hey, no, man. Outside with that.
Yeah.
Outside.
Baseballs, tennis balls, any of those balls were
Do
off
you
limits
think dribbling
inside the
a
house.
basketball in the kitchen is a good idea?
Racket balls, you name it. I mean, if it was a ball, it had to go outside with you. And you needed to get the hell out of the house.
I grew up in the days of the Nerf guns really rising to popularity.
I'm
the
too
dart
old
guns
for
and what
those.
they
It
had.
sucks. Because it looks
Dude,
like
they
so
were-
much fun.
They were great. One of my favorites when I was a kid, I don't know if it was official Nerf. I actually looked it up. It was called the Tornado. And it was this purple rifle. And instead of the darts that you see with all these Nerf guns, they had these orange rings that were about that big around, and they were about an inch thick. And they would just fire those rings. And I used to just torture my sisters with them.
Mike, I'll tell you what, this is the weirdest thing in the world. I don't know what it was about sporting equipment back in the day. Everybody had a basketball. Hands
But
down.
nobody had a hoop.
Well, you had one person that had a hoop. Some people
Seriously,
had,
everyone had a basketball.
Some people had indoor balls, which was weird because they get wet, they get real heavy.
Yeah.
Some people had outdoor balls, but everybody had a basketball. Everybody had a tennis racket. Everybody had a baseball glove. But to have a decent football, first of all, the younger you are,
You can't get your hand around
It was
it.
harder to get your hand around it and throw the ball. But most kids that I knew, nobody in our neighborhood had a decent football. Those big knots on some of them from where they hit the side of a house or whatever, or scraped up from playing football in the street. Like for some reason, the football was just elusive. But the Nerf football, when that came out, that was a game changer. Everybody had a Nerf.
we had Nerf footballs. We had a regular one too. We always had, what was the one you had as a kid? Like the TDY or whatever. It was like
something like that.
What
Yeah.
little kids used for like smaller leagues. So
Right,
we always had that, and then I don't know why, but because we were nerds even as kids for sports. But it was like my brother had an NFL football and he had a college football, and if it was after 4 p.m., we could only use the college football because it had the white stripes so we could see it at night.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's the sun's still out. He's like, we got to use the nighttime college ball. Like, okay.
Who was it? Was it Chase early on when he got drafted by the Bengals? Was having a difficult time in preseason games or whatever the hell was, and he said it was because he wasn't used to not seeing the stripes on the football.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
One excuse, one game. Then after that, he's like, "I think I figured it out."
Yeah, I think he's overcome that.
Well, I mean, you have the stripes on them at every other level besides the NFL.
True.
And that NFL ball, man. Like, if I had a choice, like, if we were to go throw a ball around, like, please give me a college ball.
Yeah, for us, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also, it got into the Toy Hall of Fame, the Fisher-Price corn popper that toddlers push around.
Yep.
Wasn't actually nominated. They inducted it as a bonus in honor of the Hall of Fame's 25th anniversary. It beat out other 4 forgotten toys was the category.
Did you guys have the thing that was like, it was like you blew it up and it had sand in the bottom? So you could like punch it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and it would come back.
It's
Yeah.
like a huge Weeble Wobble is what they called the little toys.
God, I love that thing, man. I used
Never
to punch
had
the
one,
crap
but
out
yeah,
of it.
had a friend who did, and we just go in the garage and just abuse
But
that.
it was
thing.
always a different face. You could have a clown, you could have Godzilla. Like
Yeah, my brother had like one of the clown ones. And I mean, Mike, I'm telling you, I don't know if you had one, but like every time you walk by, you just punch him.
It's why I was confused why so many people said punching the clown all the damn time. I was thrown up for years.
Yeah, wait, I mean, that literally this guy.
That's why it took me so long to masturbate.
9. I feel like I hated that clown. Now I'm thinking about, man, I used to spend a lot of time down there beating up that clown.
We had a speed bag too, so man,
did you ever get a good on that?
Yeah. Oh, I got into the rhythm of that. My stepfather told me that how to jump rope. He was a boxing guy.
Okay,
how to jump rope, how to hit a speed bag. Body bag was the worst for me because I felt like every time I punched something, I was going to break my wrist.
Yeah.
9 other finalists didn't get enough votes to make it in, including 2 toys that had a big year otherwise. Ken dolls didn't make it in. Either did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They should.
They should. They should.
Dude, they had a truck you could buy, and it shot pizzas.
Really?
Right, like little fake plastic pizzas. It was in one of the movies.
Okay.
But same thing, like Mike was talking about the Nerf guns. I mean, I used to drive that thing around with one of the turtles. It would just fire pizzas at anybody in the family.
Other toys that didn't make the cut are Battleship the game.
Battleship's solid.
Bingo, another good game. Now, Ted, I know you're into the bingo. Bop
I do
It.
like bingo.
Yeah.
What was Bop It?
I loved Bop It.
Is that where you press the thing
so
down?
you had the big button on there where you would bop it. It would tell you what to do. You could bop it, you could twist the thing, or you could pull the bottom of it. And the original version just had 3 different things: bop it, twist it, or pull it. And I loved that thing. And then they started getting overly complicated as they got, as the years went on and you needed to add more stuff to it. There was then spin it, flick it, the weird things. I loved the game though.
Slime. And I don't know if you remember slime.
I remember slime,
But
man.
surely there was some chemical in that little kids shouldn't be having in their hands.
That was the good old days when they didn't care.
They had the wacky wall crawlers that were kind of in that same vein.
Oh, those things were great.
Choose Your Own Adventure. Not sure if I remember that. What was
Choose
that?
Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, they're books. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one where you would read the page and it was like, if you want to follow the knight, go to page 18. If you'd rather battle the dragon by yourself, go to page 22.
right.
And then you'd flip ahead to 22 like, oh no, that's the end of the book. Now I gotta go back over here and we're gonna follow the knight.
Guess I shouldn't follow the knight. God damn it, knight.
Connect 4 did not make the cut. And the Little Tykes red car. The Little Tykes red car.
Isn't that the red one with the yellow topper on it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had one of those.
I'll ask
The
you.
inspiration for the smart car.
Pretty much.
Dude, I still have Connect 4.
I think we do somewhere in that.
How do you play the game?
Connect
like
4?
Connect 4.
Like what's the premise of Connect 4 again? I know. Is it green, red? Is it
It's
kind of
red and black,
Okay.
and then you just
Checkers.
have to either get 4 across, 4 diagonally,
Oh,
or 4 up.
it's the one where you drop in the checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did like that game.
I got
Marshawn is
hit.
probably the best Connect 4 player you'll ever meet in your life.
One of the few fights my brother and I physically got into began with me getting smacked over the back of the head with a Connect 4 board, but he did all the checkers on there, so it sounded a lot worse than it actually was. I think we threw 2 punches, then we accidentally broke my mother's guitar, and we understood at that point, like, we need to stop because Dad's going to kill us. And then you know what? My dad came home, and he killed us.
But do you think that your dad secretly, although he knew that he needed to lay the hammer down, was happy that your mom could never play the guitar again?
No, because she didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
It was
All right.
strictly a decoration. I think if she played it, he secretly would have handed us like $20. But at this point, it was just kind of a decoration.
All right.
My brother pushed me, and I fell backwards into the guitar. I didn't realize I'd hit the guitar. I'm all amped up, so I'm looking at him because I'm ready to fight. And I'm just looking at my brother's face. It's just pure terror, right? And he just points silently. And I turn around, and the neck on the guitar had snapped. And we're just like, oh, no. Just understand this. In my parents' house, don't F with anything.
Did you try to fix it at all, like grab tape or whatever kids do?
There was nothing we could do. I mean, we made a valiant attempt at first, and then it just got to the point. My brother, it's like a patient who died. You know, my brother's like, I've done everything I can. It could be bad news, man. So we just didn't say anything about it. And I remember my father walks by, and then he kind of stops and walks backwards slowly, looks at the guitar, looks at us, just says, come here now.
As if the break could have possibly been anybody other than you two.
Well, that's the whole thing. There was no way we're getting out
The
of
reason I
it.
asked about the guitar is my brother, he played drums.
Oh,
so he
God.
had a drum pad that he would practice on all the time.
Right.
But that's just an acoustical pad. That's not plugged in. And then one year for Christmas,
He got a drum kit that looked like the band Kajagoogoo would play.
Was he good enough to own it?
These were the yellow. Well, he was in the learning stages of this. Now, these are the yellow pads that kind of look like maybe not octagons, but they were not a traditional circle as far as they were like.
All right.
They were more like
So the electronic drum set.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And he would beat on that, and then you could change like some to cymbals. Some of the
you can change the tone that they put out.
What they were. But it plugged into the wall on basically like a charger cord that your phone would.
Yeah.
So after about 2 days of this, I decided that I was going to steal the charger cord because it only worked and plugged into the back of that. So I took it and I hid it for a week, and he was just beside himself. Like he couldn't figure out why it wouldn't turn on or what the hell was going on.
He never thought that you maybe had sabotaged it.
No, but I never told him, too, that I had that AC charge basically in my underwear drawer in my room because I just wanted him to play it without actually being able for the whole house to be able to hear it.
Right.
You could still practice, right? I just don't need to hear it all. And it was this cheesy Casio sound, like it was the worst sounding drum kit that you could ever buy in your life. And I had enough, and I think my mind snapped. Last year's inductees were the Light Bright, by the way, Spinning Tops, and Masters of the Universe. So I guess last year they only let 3 of the inductees in. What do you think? One more caller, or we good?
Yeah, get one more.
Yeah.
Random. Sneak 'em in.
Hello, Taylor. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, buddy.
Taylor, since you're our last caller on the random question, I'll give you somewhat of an easy one here. Taylor, you have arrived in hell. What song in hell is being played on repeat? You've arrived in hell.
So, are we talking like this is the worst or the one that I really want to hear for the rest of my life?
You're in hell. You're in hell, brother.
Chances are it's not going to be what you want.
Yes. What song would drive you crazy being on repeat when you get to hell?
That is, wow. I've never thought about that one.
The theme to Paw Patrol. I mean, look, there are songs that I hate, right? There are songs that everyone hates, but there's something about little kids' TV shows, and I get why their themes are what they are, but they actually make me angry.
Like the Sesame Street theme is not a bad
fine.
theme.
That one
It's
does
a
not
song.
make me angry.
No, it doesn't mean either.
You know where I'm going. Lou Bega, Mama number 5.
Over and over and over.
I think I want to go Don't Worry, Be Happy from Bobby McFerrin.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, seriously. Anything that's happy, even Farrell happy. I don't think shiny, happy people. If you say happy in the song, other than Keith Richards, I'm probably not going to like it. For some reason, if you say happy and the title is happy, it just makes me angry.
There was someone who like apparently had died and gone to hell that said 2 songs played while he was there, and Don't Worry, Be Happy was one of them.
Yeah, okay. I would believe it. Even Bobby McFerrin hates that song.
He does. And he basically lives in his house because of it. All right, coming up, your guess is as good as mine. Our categories today, the best breakfast cereals and the most obese states. And we have your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Deep underground the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, Smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fixed 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
I tell your guess as good as mine. Cut off the categories: the best breakfast cereals and the most obese states. First time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Do one from the random question. Question: what happened the day you were born? Guys, what happened the day I was born? I was a breech baby, and I was about 3 weeks early. My mom had polio when she was a baby, so the doctors, they weren't sure if her pelvis could handle the birth, so they decided to do a C-section. Now, when the doctor did the C-section, he cut my butt with a scalpel, so I had to get my butt stitched up even before I was 2 minutes old. And the man apologized to me every single time he saw me after that. And he was our family doctor. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Sorry, cut your butt, man.
We move on to the birthdays. I don't know what's going on. We'll get a lot of youngsters celebrating birthdays today. Mm-hmm. Guys, today my boy Ryder is 7 years old. We would like Coach Ted and all of his racing knowledge to coach him up about karting. These ain't no bumper carts either. These kids are doing 45. Also, your choice of a sound effect there, Mike, if possible. Thanks, guys. That from Riley.
Stay into
that. Like that he's starting already at 7 in karting. Karting, that's how a lot of the F1 drivers start when they're younger.
Makes sense.
I'm going to go see it this weekend in person, so I'll have more tips for you then. But for now, remember, check your mirrors, accelerate into the turns.
Guys, here's to another birthday for our son Theron, a.k.a. Thernado. I can't believe he's already 11. So can I get a little kid fish sandwich and Coach Ted giving advice about pitching? Lots of love. That from Mom and Dad. Thanks, guys, and rock on.
How old's he turning?
He is 11 years old today.
All right, here's the first piece of advice. You're 11 years old. You need a fastball and a changeup. Don't worry about any breaking stuff for right now. And if a coach tries to get you to throw a curveball, remind him you're 11 and you want to pitch in high school.
Don't blow your shoulder out before it's actually developed.
Seriously, every neighborhood had a kid that could throw a curveball or a really good breaking ball at 11 or 12. And that kid's arm was garbage in high school.
Yeah. Gentlemen, please wish my youngest son Connor a happy 12th birthday. He grew up listening to you guys occasionally. Lots of fast forwarding when crotch goblin topics come up. For the longest time, we couldn't figure out what he was saying when we listened to the 5 o'clock hour, but 3 or 4-year-old him was yelling, Ted, during the TV Time with Ted intro. So, could I please have Coach Ted give him a few words of advice now about life, since he is 12 years old? Thanks, guys. That from Brian.
All right, look, you're 12. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Next few years are going to be weird. You're going to be stinking. You're going to go through puberty, but it's okay. Things will get you down. It'll be a little tough. Remember, we've all been there. We all got through it, and we're good now. Other than that, also, when you get to high school, enjoy the scenery.
Good day, fine sirs. Please wish Josh a happy 17th birthday. Poor guy is a Patriots fan and having a rough year. I feel for him being an Arkansas Razorbacks football fan as well.
Jeez, man.
We can pick our boogers and friends, but not our hometown teams. Please have Coach Ted give him a pep talk on better years to come. Some jokes from Miles. And guys, congratulations on 4,000 episodes.
Thank you.
You've enriched my life and many others with your program. Hope we can suck it up another 4,000 before you move on. Thanks, guys. That from Josh, the dad of Lil Josh's girlfriend, Layla.
All right.
Well, first of all, listen, son, I'm not going to feel bad for you. You're 17 years old, and the Patriots finally are not good. I can fathom why you picked them early on.
Sure.
Whoever this guy is, that's an Arkansas Razorback fan. Sir, I assume you're from Arkansas. Nobody randomly picks that team. Woo, pig suey. But listen, yeah, you're a Pats fan. Calm down. You're 17. Next year to be an adult. Let's start acting like it.
All right,
you know, cuss at the TV and scream.
Josh,
yeah, also, never afraid to go hop over on that Hawks bandwagon.
Well, Josh, you're 17. I think you're old enough for some jokes about the Patriots. Guys, what's the difference between the Patriots and cigarettes?
What is the difference between the Patriots and cigarettes?
Eli Manning doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Well
How
done.
many Patriots fans does it take to change a light bulb?
How many Patriots fans does it take to change a light bulb?
None. They're all living in the giant shadow. And guys, I hate to say this, but I took my broken vacuum cleaner back to the store.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
They put a Patriots jersey on it, and now it sucks again. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nobody's going to feel bad for Pats fans. Come on.
20 years from now, if you still suck, maybe. Right now, we're like, nah.
Look,
man.
Boston sports might be having a bit of a lull, but overall, I mean, there's no city that celebrated more in all kinds of different sports. Except for BC. Guys, I would like to do a birthday shout out to my husband, Dustin. He has loved my life and been my biggest supporter and everything that I do. Love you, honey. Lately, he's been trying to teach me how to play a new video game. It would be great to hear what the dirty Germans have to say about that. Thanks, guys. That from Ebony.
Yeah, first of all...
to play a new video.
Play a new video?
He's been trying to teach me how to play a new video. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe
I do not know what it means, but I'm glad that it's a video, not a video game. I imagine this new video involves you being naked and him watching, and he plays with his own joystick.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, you watch some of the newer movies, sometimes the girl playing this game just sits there.
Yeah.
It's a man has his way with her. I guess he calls that player one.
And finally, for the birthdays, all the gentlemen, please wish my awesome coworker Chris, pronounced Beckham, a very happy 34th birthday. How about Coach Ted giving him some advice on his Corgi Loki and how to dominate the Corgi race? Loki. And how to dominate the race at Emerald Downs next year. Ooh. Rock on, guys. That from the Lone Hippie.
All right, I'll start with Loki. Bark, 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 bark. Hur, hur, hur. Now for the parents,
that was funny, dude. I hope he got that joke.
Dog's got it.
I hope that dog's old enough to hear the joke you just told him.
He's old enough in dog years.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Other than that, I would train Loki to intimidate these other corgis, all right? Backstage, before the races start, don't attack. Maybe let him nip a corgi. Nip one on the little tiny legs. Set a tone, Loki.
I think what you do, Loki, just clean yourself, but maintain eye contact with all the other dogs. It will freak them out.
Also, as somebody who has won money betting on greyhounds, make sure Loki drops a deuce right before the race.
Is that kind of a thing, like poop and...
I've won on greyhounds in Florida watching them do it. Back in the day, I don't know if they still race them, but if you saw one poop, he was going to win.
Put your money on him. All right. And by the way, for me today, man, what better day than a Monday? But 13 years ago today, my life changed because I became a parent. My daughter was born, and it is amazing that in 13 years, right, this beautiful little girl, wonderful, wonderful soul, heart of gold, has no ill intent toward anyone, how much freaking money you've cost me. I mean, it's just, it's staggering how much money I've spent since you've been born. But yeah, 13 years ago today, I became a parent. The world changed for the better. I love you to death, babe.
And Tetchy's a teenager now. Yeah. Finally the jokes come off me, onto him. Oh, look out. Look out.
Yeah.
Giving up my title.
So and so that's a warning to all the 13-year-old boys out there. Now, I officially hate you.
Yes.
Are you prepared to just never be right again for about 5 years?
Oh, no, here's the good news, Ted. Here's the good news. You know, people worry about the teen years. She has been method acting for her teen years for about 2 years.
Oh, nice.
So, I know for a fact that I don't know anything. I know that anytime I make a dad joke, in spite of the smile on her face, she hates me. Give you an idea, she had a birthday party Thursday night, all right? They did a sleepover because they were all Friday for Veterans Day. So my daughter went to, I don't know, some video play, whatever the hell. She went with a bunch of her friends. I was going to be home when she got home with her friends. So what I did is the one thing she begged me not to do, which is dress as Urkel, because I dressed as Urkel for a Halloween party. And she swore, like, please, I never want to see this again, blah, blah, blah. So she gets home from her party, and all of these girls come running into the house. I'm dressed as Urkel. The look on her face made all 13 years worth of it. She was so mortified, and her friends thought it was so awesome. I'm just like, hey. I cannot explain how much joy.
Awesome. You nailed it, too.
I mean, just doing little things like that. Baby, I'm glad you're alive. I'm so glad you're my daughter. Thank you. Love you.
All right, guys, here we go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Damn it.
I ask if you were going to give us that $1 right now.
Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through
Or if we had to wait till 4:20 tomorrow.
Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers.
Damn it.
$1 so far.
Damn it. Now you guys are going to help me. Text now if you would like to try to win tickets to see Green Day and the Smashing Pumpkins. 206-803-ROCK, 206-803-ROCK. The secret word is wake, as in wake and bake. The secret word is wake. Text now at 206-803-ROCK. Also, call now if you want to play Your Guess Is As Good As Mine at 206-803-ROCK.
You are killing it today.
Couple of extra emails while we get a caller.
Consummate professional.
Thank you. Damn it. Damn it.
The best in the business, Mike.
God.
Best in the business.
Way to go,
professional. It's sitting right there. Right there.
Right there.
I won't forget.
I wrote it.
I won't forget,
I wrote it
man.
freaking down.
Come on. I don't remember.
People always say to me, how does he do it? Like, honestly, I don't know.
I don't. It's like magic.
I don't know.
Jeans, man.
Jesus.
Yeah. Special talent.
Man. God. So pissed off.
It's daylight savings time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, one more. Let's see here.
She fired up.
Show 4000 and your favorite men's room moment. Damn it. All of which is I couldn't get through on the day, but listening back to the podcast of the 4000th episode, my favorite men's room moment was the time where Ted got wasted on absinthe
That's fun day.
with BJ and his show, then failed to show up for work later that day. So Toppy ended up having to run the board. Then maybe a week or so later, during the 5 o'clock hour, you guys had an on-air party where everyone except Ted proceeded to get very audibly drunk because he was locked away to watch by himself as punishment. I definitely remember the Mob Rules by Sabbath being cranked up while Thrill screamed along with it. It was a glorious audible mess that I'm surprised that Hair Club even allowed, or did he? And I wish I was there. Well, I wish there was still surviving audio of that. Did that have anything to do with the incident by chance? No, it didn't.
No.
Cheers, bitches. That from Sean in England. I don't know if Hair Club had a hand in that.
He was okay with that because everyone kind of laughed at Ted, like getting hammered in the morning. Just like, there's no way he's coming.
Well, the radio,
right?
it was funny as hell.
It was. Right. And look, to this day, right, like BJ was like, no, dude, it's fine. Get as hammered as you want.
Yeah.
Problem is, we got too hammered. I still think we'll leave names out that I was drugged and did not realize what I was ingesting that day. Oh, yeah. Take this. It'll keep you up. I was like,
already guess who that was.
Right.
Jesus,
and I'm like,
dude.
right, in retrospect, but I had no idea what I was doing. Right. So really, when people don't know, the only time I really got in trouble was I came back because I was hammered.
Yeah, you came back that
and it was
day.
like 1:30, and I was like, oh, man, we got to drive me back to work. I mean, I completely forgot that it had already been like, don't come back to work, Ted.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, dude, don't come in, man. You are not in condition to do this.
Time for a little. That was early on. We were fine. Nobody's going to bother with us.
Now that you tell me that, I guarantee you were drugged.
Yeah, and I didn't know
I
it.
know you were.
And the other thing I'll say, too, somebody else emailed us about me crying at that movie. I was 8. I wasn't a teenager on a date, jackass.
Time for a little Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. It's an easy game to play. You pick from one of two categories. Try to get as many right in said category before 3 strikes and you're out. Steve, who is our contestant? Ready to play Your Guess Is As Good As Mine.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. Matthew, you know how the game is played. Your categories. We have the most overweight states in the United States. And we have the top 10 favorite breakfast cereals. There are 20 total. If you can get 10 right out of that category, we'll give it to you. All right? So, Matthew, do you want the most overweight states in the United States or the 10 favorite breakfast cereals?
Man, I quit eating cereal a long time ago. I'm going to go with the state.
You're going to go with the most obese states. All right.
Let me think about it. Yeah, let's go with that state.
Okay, you know the game is played. There are 50 states here in the United States.
Oh, what's this guy's name?
Matthew.
Matthew, are you a sports fan?
I am.
Okay, I just listen to me when I say football.
Alabama.
Alabama, number 7. You're off to a strong start.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, number 6. You're off to a strong start.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, number 5. You are off to a strong start.
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yep.
Number 4. You are off to a strong start.
Are the Gators in the SEC? Yes, they are. Gators, Florida.
Florida, though, there's a bigger state. I mean, you still got to stick with like Mississippi, Georgia. Most of these
got to get to those.
Most of these
all
lists
up there on
too.
the coast.
I was gonna say most of these lists too. Miles' home state of West Virginia's on them.
Yeah, it's true.
Aren't they in the mountain?
They're Big 12, so I'm trying to help.
Yeah. I thought they were mountain. All right, so let's go with Mississippi.
Mississippi, number 2.
Well, West Virginia.
Number 1.
Are you number 1 on that?
Unbelievable.
Damn, man.
Pepperoni rolls are great. So are hot dogs.
West
Where are we
Virginia.
at now? How many I got?
Right now you've got 6 out of the 10 with 1 strike, Matthew.
6 out of 10. I got 4 more to go. Okay, so what's right around? God, I'm nervous on Georgia.
I'm thinking Georgia, maybe Texas. I don't know, but
Is there a state that was mentioned in an email earlier today there, Miles?
No.
Georgia might be a good call.
You want to try Georgia?
Georgia?
I would.
All right, let's do Georgia.
Ow. Don't listen to me.
Georgia, number 16.
Herschel Walker's from Georgia. I was thinking that there might be a few people.
He's not exactly fat, though.
He's not fat. He ain't bright, but he ain't fat.
Their line is big, but not fat. They got a big line, D-line, O-line. All right, so where are we at here?
Well, you've got 2 strikes, and you've got 6
what
correct.
do you feel about Kentucky? Did I say Kentucky?
You did not say Kentucky.
But, it borders West Virginia, so I feel like you're in the right part of the country, and I can't imagine the diet is much different.
Yeah, we got to go Kentucky. They ate a lot of squirrel there.
Number 3.
I don't. There's no reason.
A lot
it's
of
not the squirrel's fault. All right.
Matthew, you've run the top 7. West Virginia, number 1. Mississippi, number 2. 3. Kentucky, 4. Louisiana, 5. Arkansas, 6. Tennessee, 7. Alabama. There are 3 states remaining. That would be number 8, number 9, and number 10.
You think Virginia's too far north?
Yeah.
I don't think Virginia would be in there.
And like Northern Virginia's.
What about Missouri?
Ooh, that's not a bad call, man. I don't know
I
if it's
got to
correct.
go with Missouri.
Number 18. But you know what? You got to 70%. You got 7 out of the 10. That's not bad at all. Here are your most overweight and obese states. We'll just run through them 1 through 10. 1 is West Virginia. Mississippi at 2. 3 is Kentucky. Louisiana comes in at 4. Arkansas at 5. Tennessee at 6. Number 7 is Alabama. Number 8, Texas.
Yep.
Number 9, South Carolina.
That makes that makes a lot
And the
of sense.
dark horse in my mind in the race, number 10, Delaware.
What?
Delaware is the 10th most obese and overweight state.
What did Delaware?
I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of people who live there.
No,
but you're just under Philly.
Just under
and
Philly.
some of the cities.
The food is delicious there.
because we always go to the beach if we're in Delaware.
Correct.
And the people on the beach tend to look, not all of them, but look a little better.
Yeah, but if you live in random ass Delaware, you just sit around eating.
Fat ass Delaware.
Wilmington.
Yeah, Dover, looking at you.
Child of the day is coming up. You are listening to The Men's Room.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
If you're a business owner, you know these sounds mean sales. And from the sound of it, your business is growing. Whether you're fulfilling orders from your home office or warehouse, Stamps.com helps you stress less about mailing and shipping and spend more time doing what you love most. Listening to ASMR. I mean, growing your business. But as you grow, so does the need for efficiency. Stamps.com simplifies your shipping and mailing process. Import orders from wherever you sell online. Find the lowest rates with the fastest delivery times. Instantly deliver tracking updates to your customers. And buy shipping and mailing supplies when you run low. Save time and money on mailing and shipping. Get started at Stamps.com today with code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Couple of minutes, we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. A new poll of millennials and Gen Z that still live with their parents asked when they planned on leaving. Many said not for another 10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, in this country, you're always encouraged to, finish high school, go to college, go do your thing.
Sure.
So many other countries, the homes are multi-generational.
Absolutely.
The difference is, I think they were multi-generational because that's just how they rolled. We're clearly here, it's financial.
Absolutely.
But we seem to be getting to that point where it's like, well, there are additional adults living in my home.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now that my kids have moved away, I do anything to have them move back in.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nice.
It's such a stupid thing. I could not wait for my kids to move out, right?
Sure.
Because it'll be great. Now, daughter hit 13 today. I'm like, I've been like 5 years.
Well, it goes by so fast.
It
just goes by so fast.
So I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Sure.
But on the flip side, I want you to get out of the house and do. But I've never had this house.
When they went to college,
right? This house was purchased with the kids in mind.
Sure.
Right? They were already alive. So basically, it's kind of their house. That's why we picked the house we picked, right? This is the house they get to grow up in, and I know they're going to move away. And I'm like, I don't like that idea.
Yeah. I would encourage people, if you got a comfortable situation at home, save up money, man. Stick there.
Yeah, if you can save money. That's the thing. You need to get off your ass and get a job.
Absolutely.
You need to be an adult.
Certainly pay your dues there. If not paying rent, you better be doing chores. Like, if you're living in a house rent-free, dude, you best be making it up.
I did not say they would live rent-free. I said I would not mind if they stayed.
Sure.
But it will cost them.
Get your clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer.
Oh, my God. Clean your dishes.
Just take them close to the sink. Just get them close. Get them close.
I
I'll
do
take
think
care of the
kids,
rest.
Whoever, you live in somebody else's house, so you got to play by their rules.
You're damn straight.
I don't know. Push the toothpaste from the back.
Right.
So,
oh, my God.
The problem with that is I feel like they
push
think
it from the back.
From the back, man.
They think it's their house.
It's
you live here, but it's mine.
It's only when they're in trouble that they find out that it's your house. Right? This is our house. Then they get in trouble. I'm like, hey, in my house, right? And things change all of a sudden.
The toilet paper goes this way, damn it.
I was going to say, something breaks, then this
is my house.
It's your house.
My question is, you're sitting there and you're doing your business. You're sitting there. You got nowhere else to go. This is easy. You have nothing else to do. Just take the other roll of toilet paper and
put it on.
That's all.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the, cardboard tube sitting out on the sink. And I'm like, the trash can is a foot away.
There. I actually had that experience this morning, getting in the shower, and I'm like, I see that you grabbed another roll of toilet paper.
Bravo.
And I see that you have left the empty tube on the little spinny thing. It's really not hard to do. Right. And then again, to your point, any trash can is literally next to all of the... It takes 15 seconds, guys.
Not even that, man.
This is why we become our parents.
Get grief for leaving the toilet seat up.
Right, let them put it down.
A new study found, a new survey found, most adults spend an average of 4 hours with friends a month.
I do much more than that.
4 hours.
I tend to be above average on that one.
I think I'm a little above that. Yeah.
It's just basically it was saying count your blessings if you do it more. Like that's average.
I mean, Saturday night, people showed up around 6. Last person left around 2 a.m.
It also, for me, what's the definition of friends?
Family, people that you're close to,
right?
Your circle,
okay,
whoever that is,
right.
Whether it's your,
because the same thing. Like I'll go hang with my wife's family.
Your nephew, yeah, right, whatever.
A new study found that BMW drivers are the most likely to cause a crash.
But hearing that for a long time.
Is that new? Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've heard that many, many times.
It's one of those
years.
where we have to do the study and say, "Yep, still your problem."
I feel like they're the most aggressive and the most
carefree,
entitled kind of on the road. And keep in mind, Hair Club drives a BMW, and if you get in the car with him, you need to understand this is his road.
That's right.
It is not your road. And no matter what you are doing, you're doing it incorrectly.
That is correct. We were just talking about having your kids living with you and the different rules that go down there. Did you guys ever have a friend that had weird house rules at their home when growing up or even now?
Oh, like don't pet the dog?
Yeah, kind of.
Don't pet the dog.
Dude, there was one.
Well, we had a couple of shoes off homes, which I didn't think was weird.
That's not that weird.
That just wasn't.
Don't look the dog in the eye.
Actually,
let her come to you.
I had a friend. There was a house, and like I don't know if they bred this dog to be kind of angry or whatever, but it was always in a cage, and it was like, don't pet the dog. Don't even mess with it.
We had the opposite on Saturday. She's friendly. She's stupid. Because in the ring of the doorbell, it sounds like she wants to kill you.
Yeah.
As soon as we open the door, her tail's wagging. She's happy to see it. But we had to explain to everyone, like, no, she's fine. She's a moron.
Right.
I had one friend that his family would not let you in between the ages of 12, 14, 15 with your shoes. You had to take your socks off. Then you had to wash your feet off with a hose.
Damn.
There was a towel outside because everyone's
full
feet,
Christian here.
Well, no, everyone's feet were, the shoes were old, they were wet, they were moldy, they're terrible.
Goodness gracious. Luckily, we have a whole bunch of answers.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10. 10 of the most bizarre house rules ever encountered at someone else's home. Whenever I go over to my friend's house as a kid, we had to take our shoes off outside and then put on those weird hospital booties while we were in the house. You can only imagine the things that go through your head when you were only allowed in the basement. Like, how many never came back out? We may never know.
It is amazing. We had people over Saturday, and I mean, other than the people that we know extremely well, everyone that showed up was like, shoes on or off. And I would say the same thing. I got a dog, a cat, and 2 kids. And the ship has sailed. It doesn't. You could walk in with turds on your feet. It doesn't matter.
Bizarre house rules that people have encountered at someone else's home. Towards the end of the list here, this is a Reddit thread where everybody just kind of gave their answers. It says, no talking about or watching anything that contained magic. Harry Potter was banned along with many shows and cartoons.
Okay.
I will say
I can accommodate you on that.
I do know somebody who their parents had to read the Harry Potter books and watch the movies before they were allowed to when they were kids.
That sounds very personal.
I mean,
were they scared that you were going to turn to witchcraft? And do they know that witchcraft is very ineffective, even if you do?
That was their childhood. Let's see here. When I was a kid, my friend's dad made his kids line up on the couch and just sit there silently while he watched TV and drank a beer. If you were visiting, you had to do it too. When my mom heard about it, I wasn't allowed to go over there when he was home.
Be quiet and have a beer.
That is funny. I will say my wife, and she's not super strict, but she definitely has rules. And so if the kids have friends over, and this is no joke, she's like Arlie Ermey from Full Metal Jacket.
All right.
When the final kid gets there, she rounds them all up. And she's already
tears them all
yelling at
down.
them. Children! I swear to God. That's every conversation. There's like 8 kids there. And they love her to death. They're terrified of her. Children! How tall are you? No, these are the rules. This is what you can do. Don't do this, don't do that, right? So she always lays down the rules. So a couple of months ago, I had to run back home to talk to the kid. She goes, hey, man, give him the speech. So my speech was, my son raises his hand. He goes, can I say what I know you're going to say? I said, don't do anything effing stupid. I said, right. There you go. There you go. If you think it's effing stupid, don't do that. That's honest to God how we do it.
Someone said if you need to pass gas, you have to go outside and all the way to the mailbox. That makes sense because if you're just going to go outside, you're going to fart and then you're going to drag that damn thing back in. Right. So you're going to go all the way down to the mailbox. That way it has time to permeate out your pants before you get back inside.
It's open fart season in my house.
Yeah.
If you got a fart, only thing I tell my son, maybe don't do it directly at your mom and she'll be less upset about it. But when you literally run out of your bedroom to run into the living room to aim your ass at her.
I find only one of us gets yelled at for farting in my home.
Marriage. The dog.
When I was around 8, I went to a friend's house for a play date / dinner after school. When I asked for a drink, her mom gave me a baby bottle with squash in it.
Ew, man.
I laughed, but she didn't laugh back. My friend took her own bottle and started drinking. I asked her mom if I could please have a cup instead, but she told me no. That children drink from bottles in their house. I never went there again.
That is a little weird.
Wow.
Can't believe it get through the nipple.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Squash. Rice formula in the formula. I couldn't get it through there.
This one had kitchen hours. I stayed at a friend's house when I was younger. Nobody told me the entire family has breakfast at 7 a.m., so I slept in. Nobody woke me up either, by the way. I woke up around 9 a.m. and saw that my friend was gone. I wandered into the kitchen and saw them all sitting around the table laughing and eating a huge breakfast. Pancakes, eggs, bacon, toast, orange juice, fruit, etc. My friend's mom looked at me and said, hey, look who's finally awake. The kitchen's closed, but there's cereal in the pantry if you want to serve yourself.
Wow, man.
All right. So I poured myself a bowl of cereal and went to sit down at the table. And the second I sat down, they all stood up and left the kitchen. Even my friend. To this day, I don't understand why they did that to me.
That is...
Especially when you don't tell the person, like, hey, we do breakfast at 7. Like, don't just leave them blind.
I mean, I respect that they are hardcore about their schedule. Okay.
If we slam the door as kids, my dad made us kiss the door to make it feel better.
My daughter slammed her door once. That just as a parent, and I'm sure it's all parents. Sure. I know you're mad at me. I do not care. We have a situation. And I know you want to let me know that you're angry. And she slammed her door, and I walked down the hall, and I opened the door, and I said, if you ever slam your door again, it comes off the hinges. You will not have a door. So what she does now, and I respect this, she will
sternly
half
close it.
Slam it, right? And then at the last 2 inches, then just close it. So she's done the slam process without it actually latching into the lock.
Well,
and I'm like, I respect that because you didn't slam.
If you want to ruin your kid's life, take the door off the hinges.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, that's right.
Oh, I was dead serious. Like, I will take this bitch off of its hinges. You will not have a door.
Yeah, slamming doors, shit. It just drives you up a wall.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, if my brother or sister did it, it's like, why are we slamming the doors?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about relationships.
Wait a minute.
Not even kids. You're an adult.
Yeah, slam. Like, I know you're mad.
Bizarre house rules that people have encountered at other people's homes. I once stayed at a relative's place where they had a strict no radio waves after dark rule. Post-sunset, Wi-Fi was shut down, phones were powered off, even the microwave was a no-go zone. They believed that radio waves interfered with sweet dreams. The first night I was there, I felt like I time traveled to a pre-internet era.
Somebody here on the text line says, a friend's mother would make you put money in a jar if you cuss.
Oh, swear jar.
But we could do lines of coke on the kitchen table. That's kind of the flip side of it.
But hey, at least your
Just
language
don't
is clean.
cuss, right? Yeah.
Parameters.
Everybody's got their thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I was playing beer pong at this one couple's house, and the rule was that if the ball hits the floor and their cat got to it first, everyone had to finish their drinks. The cat was wicked fast.
I mean, that's just fun.
That's a good, fun rule.
I don't know if I'd call it clean fun, but it's fun.
Ooh. I cannot sit on the couch at my dad's house if his wife is home because she will feel invaded. She has to have the whole couch to herself, so I get to sit in a dining room table chair.
Dude,
he married the wrong person.
Get over yourself, man.
In 1970,
I would say there was definitely chairs I remember as a kid you couldn't sit in.
Sure.
I have a space on the couch, so as soon as I walk in, if you are there,
it's cleared.
Move.
Same.
Even the dog. And it's funny. Like the one time I look at the dog, she looks at me and move. This is my spot.
You know it
That's
don't
all.
fly. In 1972, we were amazed when a colleague announced that no one would be allowed to smoke in his house. In 1972,
That's early, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
It wasn't like maybe the mid 80s where people kind of said, take it outside.
I still remember a few of my relatives that would go over to their house, and it reeked of cigarettes in their homes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a smoker. I never smoke in my home.
You know, the worst, I bought a house with wallpaper, but the wallpaper was gaudy and old.
God.
When I took that wallpaper down, I'm a smoker. The smell of cigarette smoke in that wallpaper was almost to the point where I had to walk outside every once in a while and smoke a cigarette
to get the stink
out of my nose.
How yellow were those walls?
The glue behind it was all just covered, like the whole thing. I seriously felt like I was peeling cigarette, wrapping paper, rolling paper off of the wall.
Like a scratch and sniff.
Correct.
Stale
God,
cigarette.
I cannot believe how
my mom's mom, her and her aunt, Ellen, they chain smoked cigarettes in there. And but as a kid, you don't
give it a thought.
Right, they smoked inside. It wasn't a big deal.
Right. But then the number one most bizarre rule that someone has encountered at someone else's home is according to this Reddit thread. Most bizarre house rule I've encountered was at my friend's place where they had a strict policy of no talking during dinner. Not because of any traditional sense, but because their elderly grandmother believed that a mischievous spirit living in the dining room would learn secrets and cause chaos.
That's reasonable.
That's absolutely reasonable.
But yeah, that makes sense. Cool. I'm glad you have that rule.
A man in D.C. made the mistake of trying to break into an SUV, but had no clue of just how big of a mistake it was.
Why is that?
Give you all the details at 5:50.
I guess our headlines are coming at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to get tested in the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Deep underground the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Want more Men's Room content? Follow the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app and check out my live stream, A Moment with Mike Hawk and Nothing in Particular with Steve the Thrill Hill. Going live Thursdays and Fridays at 1 exclusively on the Men's Room page of the Odyssey app.
Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve the Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an unidentified 34-year-old man from somewhere in Indiana. I just want to preface this shot by saying that Mike and I have talked at length, and we agree. You know, when you break the law, you break the law. But there should be what we call the stupid charge, right? So it's just an additional $500 to whatever you did because you're actually stupid too. So you can rob a bank, that's one thing. But if you're stupid about it because you did it naked, I feel like you should be charged more. This guy, I believe, qualifies because, as they say, the best criminals are the ones who think they know the law, but they actually don't. And in this case, our honoree today, he robbed a K Jewelers near Indianapolis on Saturday. Then he got into a high-speed chase with police. Now, during the pursuit, the police can see him waving his hand out the window. He's trying to signal to them. The thing is, they have no idea what it is he's trying to say. He ended up crashing into a police car, but he kept going. They eventually boxed him in, and they arrested him. So what was this guy trying to explain out of his window? Well, once he was in custody, he explained that he was trying to tell them that they weren't supposed to keep chasing them, you see. You're not supposed to keep chasing me. So because some police departments have those policies now where cops are supposed to call off a high-speed chase if it gets too dangerous. He was apparently banking on that for his getaway plan. But it didn't work. So now he's facing a long list of charges, including theft, resisting arrest, reckless driving, possession of marijuana, and driving without a license. So his whole plan was, I'm going to gun it because the cops can't pursue me in a high-speed chase. They were like, you are stupid. And also, you're under arrest. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Let's see if throw hooks, please, everyone. How Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Shane, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. Today, you have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Let's go with Animalize This.
You okay over there, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. Shane, here's the story. Sheriff's deputies responded to an Indiana home to help round up a pair of unusual escaped pets. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that a resident called 911 to report that her two animals had escaped from their fenced-in enclosure. Now, deputies responded alongside conservation officers, local police, and animal experts, but the Facebook post read in part, quote, "It's not like a stray dog. You can't just send one deputy out there with one of those animal catch poles." Now, the animals were still behind a fence on the property, but deputies worked to acquire a tranquilizer gun in case they tried to climb out. So they got out of their enclosure, but they were still on the property. Now, the responders ended up not needing to use the tranquilizer, as the animals did return to their enclosure on their own, allowing deputies to close the door behind them. The owner of the animals sustained a minor injury while trying to recapture them. A local exotic animal expert agreed to look after the animals while she received medical treatment. The question is, what kinds of animals was she keeping as pets? Did she have 2 tigers, 2 chimps, 2 wolves, or 2 bears? So tigers, chimps, wolves, or bears. This woman was keeping 2 of them as pets. They got out of the enclosure, stayed on the property. But yeah, that was their situation.
You said they did tranquilize it.
They did not.
Oh, they did not.
They were prepared to do so.
Do we know where this was?
Outside of Indianapolis, I believe. Definitely Indiana. Yeah, I think right outside of Indianapolis.
I think she had 2 tigers.
I'm not
tigers, man. People like to have tigers. They think it's cool.
I think I'm going to go with 2 chimps.
2 chimps, huh?
Chimps. All right. Yeah. They injured her. And she had them. But she tried. Yeah, she tried to get them back in their enclosure.
There's nothing exotic about having wolves. I'm with Ted. I'm going to go tigers.
I mean, you'd have the biggest, baddest dog on the block.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you would. But if they escape, they'd probably be just fine. So what were the 2 or 3 escape pets?
2.
Oh, they're just 2. So was it 2 tigers, 2 chimps, 2 wolves, or 2 bears? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Category is Analyze This on Profile This. Sheriff's deputies respond to a call to corral 2 escaped pets. Thing is, they were still on the property, but the fact that they escaped
out of the enclosure,
yeah. So, yeah, they were not exactly your domesticated pets. Question is, was it 2 tigers, 2 chimps, 2 wolves, or 2 bears?
And that is the question that we posed to Shane, who was since hung up, and Shane went with chimpanzees. I'm afraid it was not chimpanzees.
No chimps.
Brother, I'm telling you right now, if it's chimps, I tranquilize them immediately.
Yeah.
That's just me. The Ted Smith, Miles Montgomery, you guys both went tiger.
Tigers.
No, really?
Not tigers. Huh. Bears.
Get out of here.
She had 2 bears. They got out of the enclosure. I don't know what kinds of bears. They could be black bears, brown bears. No idea. Either way, it was enough that people were like, yeah, we're not trying to mess with them.
Let's see that video going around of that little girl. She's like on a deck. And
right.
So you can't tell at first, but she's got a weird little like southern accent. She's like, "Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?" But it's a bear. Oh, so her mom's like, "No." She's like, "I want to pet that dog."
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
Yes, it is, Miles. Yes,
That
it is.
Hell yeah!
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
They better be in there.
Oh, yeah, I got you, buddy.
All right, you got choices. You got Bill Maher, Seth Meyers,
okay,
the Jimmies,
Alan Kimmel,
Weekend Update, or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have teams of talented writers and help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
81-year-old music star Lee Greenwood has announced that he'll retire in 2024. But the shocking part is he's not actually an American.
SNL.
Yeah, I'll say Weekend Update.
Smith!
Yeah.
Smith! Can you imagine if Lee Greenwood or someone's like, he's not actually American.
I'm from Australia, mate.
Yeah, right. Be like, no. Domino's has launched an emergency pizza promotion, which offers customers a free pizza whenever they need it most, which is strange because most of my emergencies come right after I eat Domino's pizza.
Found. Yeah, found.
Weekend Update.
Domino's has launched a new program called Emergency Pizza, which offers customers a free pizza whenever they need it most, which is strange because all of my emergencies come right after eating a Domino's pizza.
Just for the record, it was Weekend Update joke. I generally don't stand for Domino's slander. The Census Bureau just announced that the world population has topped 8 billion. So on behalf of everyone, I just want to say thank you to Nick Cannon.
Weekend Update.
Fallon.
The Census Bureau just announced that the world population has topped 8 billion. So on behalf of everyone, I just want to say thank you to Nick Cannon.
A new survey shows that 92% of adults prefer to date someone who has been in therapy, while 8% prefer to have good sex.
Pete said Smith.
Gotta hope that's you.
That's Weekend Update.
A new survey shows that 92% of adults prefer to date someone who's been to therapy, while 8% prefer good sex.
Let's see some notes from the weekend. I know, obviously we're talking about Seahawks NFL stuff, and there's a lot of good teams in college football, but I have been to Husky Stadium twice this year, and I'm telling you, man, that team, there's something going on there. And I mean, that place was rocking on Saturday.
What was the last run? Was it 95?
92.
92. When did they tie the national championship? It was early 90s.
91 team gets a split national title with Miami, but they didn't get to play Miami. And then I think it's the next year they go down and Miami hadn't lost to an out-of-conference team in Miami in years. The Whammy in Miami, and they go down there and beat them. So, I mean, that's a very good team. Yep. I want to say the Huskies were in the playoff, 10 or 12 years ago, right? They played on New Year's Day one year. So, I mean, they've had some downs. Now, listen, all the Oregon fans will tell you they also had a record because they had 0 wins the one year, but I don't know. I will say this. The Oregon stuff, it's like, I was getting annoyed with my buddy yesterday as he's a Duck, and he's like, well, they lost the game. They outplayed it. It's like, look, it was a heads-up matchup. You played each other. The Dogs won that game.
Your litmus test is you got to play each other. You didn't win. It doesn't mean your team is worse or better. Hell, you're talking about Seahawks. Look, last week, all the Seahawks fans were so down on the Hawks, and everyone was real up on the Ravens. And I said it last week. I said, look, the Hawks are not that bad, and the Ravens aren't that good. And this week, it kind of played out, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their
struggled.
They did not, but win.
Yeah.
When you love to say, man,
that's why you
we
back
won
to
the Super Bowl limping it.
And that's kind of what the Huskies are doing. Look, I like a lot of teams. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the Huskies this year. I go to the games in my purple. I would like to see them just dominate some more teams they did early in the season. But with that said, Utah's no slouch. What I mean? We found out Arizona's, but they're finding ways to win. And I mean, you can't, look, when you're a college football nerd like I am, there's no national championship team, undefeated team that doesn't have scares in their 12 or 13 games leading up to that stuff.
And questionably a Heisman quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Penix, right. The only, I mean, you could put Caleb Williams, I guess, in front of him as he's the reigning,
you could,
but it's defending champ. But I'm with you. Right now, to me, Penix should be the front runner for that Heisman Trophy. And like I said, Husky Stadium, they just do a good job. I said this to my buddy on Saturday. I said, look, I'm not generally down with redoing old stadiums, but the way even they redid Husky Stadium, you still have those decks up there and stuff. And I'm telling you, man, that place was rocking and rolling. It was awesome being there.
Wazoo's got a pro quarterback too. I mean, both teams.
Oh, sure. They have a very good
They don't have the
quarterback.
record, but the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks.
Yeah, and there's you got the kid down in North Carolina. I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks out there.
It's going to be a good quarterback draft this year.
But and look, there's going to be
solid freaking quarterbacks coming out of this.
You got another 2 weeks or something. You're going to have Thanksgiving, your holiday, Thanksgiving night. You got the Hawks and the Niners. Tell you what, that's Saturday though. They announced 1 p.m. Apple Cup at Husky Stadium.
No, they can't.
People are going to be fired up.
But is it really the last one?
Yeah.
So it's the last one with them in the same conference. I don't think it'll be the last Apple Cup ever, but I don't know that they haven't come to an agreement yet of saying we're going to play these every year.
So it might be a year or two before they play again, or they play every year. But either way, I mean, you don't know.
And it would change the time of year. Obviously, since the Huskies, since Washington's coming over to the Big Ten, some of those rivalry games would change. You'd almost think they might start making Washington, Oregon that Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend when you have a lot of those classic matchups, right? Because you're going to have the Iron Bowl that weekend. You'll have the Egg Bowl. Of course, Maryland versus Rutgers. Everybody loves that one.
So everyone's also about,
But also, too, when you're all playing the same conference, they don't have the every other year thing. So you sign deals once you're out of the conference.
Correct.
So it could be that, next year they play again at UW. Instead of going to Pullman.
So that's going to be some of the issues, too, is that Washington's going to have to sit down and look at it and go, okay, we only have this many open dates. Do we want to have them in?
Correct.
So we'll see what happens there.
And Wazoo, too.
But traditionally, Washington plays at least one Big 12, or not Big 12, Mountain West team in the beginning of the year, Boise State or somebody. I still think Washington State and Oregon State end up in that conference. So it's not crazy that they could line up those games. And you could still do it. It's
I think they will. I think they will.
It's tougher, and the Big Ten's going to say to also, here's the other thing, too. Like, I know Cougs, you want to blame Washington for everything, but, like, also the Big Ten's going to be like, hey, you got to play this many conference games. You need this, on your schedule. So it's going to be tough. All right. We talked a little bit. Seahawks, hey, you got the job done.
You won.
Also, as somebody that grew up in the D.C. area, Mike came by for the second half. We were laughing. My buddy DB, who we all know.
Yeah.
He called me a traitor, a bitch. it was pretty fun back and forth with a few of those people. Yeah. My sister wouldn't even answer her phone after the game. I was like, oh, don't be salty. And I answered that phone, and then like somebody else in my family texted me like, I gotta ask, who you rooting for? I just sent them a picture back of me in Seahawks gear and hat. Like I this shouldn't be a secret anymore.
No, they still can't accept it.
They can't, but that's okay. And it's
also, I know it was a tough win. I'm a Geno Smith apologist, West Virginia guy. I know he's from New Jersey, whatever. But he made good throws when he had to. It wasn't the best game.
He made good throws on the last couple drives.
Correct.
And I will leave it at that.
And I
think missed a lot of throws.
We threw a pick six.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But the throws he made at the end were pretty good.
Sure. there's sometimes a delay of game when you're just trying to sneak the ball I don't like. That was a horrible intentional grounding. There's just points on the field, and Mike's heard me go blue in the face talking about Geno this year. There's some routes where it's like, you don't have to wait for that dude to get open. You throw it to a spot. He either catches it or he does it. And when we're late on those, that's when I get a little nervous. I don't know that Drew Lock's going to be any better.
He will
I
not
would have
be.
put. Here's the other thing. Yesterday, right before that half, that last possession the Seahawks had before half, I would have thrown Lock in there. And I would have just said, hey, Geno, go to the locker room. Like, let's just get Drew in there. Let's get him like a series. And if anything else, maybe just to like kind of
fire the team up.
Fire the team up, something. And like, who knows? But again, whenever it comes to coaching sports, don't listen to me when it comes to offensive stuff. I'm pretty good with defense, but you don't want me running your offense.
Here's the problem with being a fan of a team, right? So last week, Ravens beat the Seahawks, and it was a drubbing. It was a terrible game in that sense. And all of the Seahawks fans, Mike especially, I mean, you were destroyed.
I was done.
You were gutted. You hate them. We know you love them, but like you hated them. They broke your heart, all the stuff. And everyone kept telling me, man, your team looked great. I'm like, they sure did. I'm telling you right now, I did not get you up on that game. So I go, but I know my team. That's the problem with being a fan. You know your team. And we lost to Cleveland in spite of the fact that we led through the whole game until the last 3 seconds. That's what they do.
And the NFL is just weird.
When you're a fan of a team, you know these truths about your team. So when the Seahawks lost last week, everyone's devastated. Should have been because it was an ass whipping. But even though they won this week, you guys were still like, yeah, dude, it doesn't have to be pretty. If you're not a direct fan of the team, all we see is your wins and losses, right? That is how we add it up. And everyone does it for every other team. But when it's your team, you're like, man.
Hang on. But also, when you're a Seahawks fan and you look at the rest of that schedule, there's certain games you should win. Yeah. They should have won that game. There was support. Like, look, you could also be honest about it. Like, yeah, they won. Like, Geno didn't play awesome.
What I'm saying is this. You're not wrong, because I feel the exact same way about my team.
Yeah.
I will critique them. When they beat the Seahawks, I still ripped them apart for all the crap they didn't do, right? Well, they won 37. It doesn't matter. They should have won about 70-3.
Bengals are great.
This is where they went wrong, right? So, but when you're a fan, you find the fault with your team if you believe they're good. But also, if your team sucks and they have a couple of wins, you buy into certain different things. That's what's so crazy to me about being a fan. It's like, look, I know my team is good, and I would rip them to shreds today, right? If that's what I was going to do. The Seahawks are fine, right? They could be better. We know that. It's an ugly win, but like, you got the win.
Sure.
Just take the win, man.
Bengals are supposed to be a great team. They're good. The Ravens supposed to be a great team. I don't think you dismiss how good Cleveland is playing right now.
I know. But we should have won.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Cleveland might not be
they're a good team.
The worst football team. I think they're pretty good.
No, I mean, look,
they're not bad. They're in the worst division.
I think the Seahawks fan, there's a guy that runs maintenance in my building. He's a massive Niners fan. As I was getting in my car today, I said, hey, by the way, F the AFC North. I am tired of those bastards. We still have the Steelers left. But he was like, yeah, I'm sick of that division. The Terminator is coming back as an animated series.
Oh, come on.
The latest entry of the franchise is an anime series in the works for Netflix. Says it's coming soon, but that's all they really know about it. So this is technically the second Terminator series. There was that live action show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, ran on Fox for two seasons from 2008 to 2009. But yeah, it's coming back, cartoon Terminator. Why not?
Say it out loud again. That's why.
Yeah.
Because the kids get that.
No, I mean, maybe it'll be great.
As long as is it an adult?
It'll probably be adult.
Better be
I
adult,
think.
right?
Well, if it's anime, I'm sure the main character will have giant eyes and big boobs.
And octopus tentacles somewhere.
Just like Speed Racer.
Right? Let me have sex with you. Like, oh, man, this is weird. God. I got into an anime conversation the other day with somebody, and like 2 minutes in, I was like, I don't want to be in this.
You're having sex with a fox. What's going on?
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. You got Monday Night Football. You got the Bills hosting the Broncos. I have a lot of thoughts on this game, but they're probably wrong because, the NFL is on crack this year.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
From the moment you brought your kitty home, they've been running the show. While they're busy climbing the curtains and doing their midnight parkour exercises, they're wishing you'd get cat insurance to help cover them for their inevitable fall from grace. Felix Cat Insurance is the perfect solution, offering pet insurance plans made just for cats by people who speak cat. It's a cat's world. We just live in it. Give them the protection they deserve with a custom quote at FelixCatInsurance.com. Insurance is underwritten by Independence American Insurance Company and produced by Independence Pet Group. Pre-existing conditions are not covered. Visit FelixCatInsurance.com/terms for all terms and limitations.
Getting older means a world of change, but some things still stay the same, like being at risk for type 1 diabetes, because type 1 can happen at any age. So screen it like you mean it. If just one person in your family has type 1, you're up to 15 times more likely to get it too. And 50% of type 1 diagnoses happen after the age of 18. So screen it like you mean it. Type 1 diabetes starts long before you need insulin, and one blood test could help you spot it early and lower the risk of serious complications like diabetic ketoacidosis, known as DKA. So don't get caught by surprise. Screen it like you mean it, because getting answers now can help you get prepared. The more you know, the more you can do. So don't wait. Talk to a doctor about how to get screened. Tap now or visit screenfortype1.com to learn more. Again, that's screenfortype1.com, and screen it like you mean it.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Maryland man flips out of the McDonald's drive-thru when he doesn't get his fries. By the way, don't try to steal a Secret Service agent's SUV. That would be my word to the wise. Man spends $21,000 cash for fake gold bars. Jewelry thief tells cops they're not surprised to chase him in cars. And an airline in China accidentally sold tickets for $1.50 as in $1.50. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, top story. We go to our nation's capital where one man messed up, and I mean he messed up bad. It's been reported that the crime rate in D.C. has been on the rise, especially in the field of car break-ins. This is where our man comes in. He found himself a perfect target. A good-looking SUV that was sure to have some sort of valuable inside of it. Like, this was a shiny new penny, this thing right here, right? Let's see here. And he tried to bust out one of the windows. Never quite realizing just how strong the windows happened to be, his attempts were quickly shut down by the sounds of gunfire in his direction. He fled the scene along with cohorts in a red car that is being tracked down by local authorities. And it was that day that he learned what an unmarked Secret Service vehicle looks like.
Yeah, it's a bad target, brother.
And
that's a good-looking Suburban.
I'm sure that's right. And it was unmarked, which is probably smart, because if your goal is to protect people, anonymity is at least a little bit of a part of it.
But I don't think so. I do the opposite.
Because
I put Secret Service.
But all of their vehicles are those black Suburbans. My wife and I were flying out of D.C. This is years ago, maybe 15 years ago, and we had like a 6 a.m. flight. So we're down around the airport at about 4:30 in the morning, but it was a rental car. And we have to take it to a place called Crystal City, which is right outside of D.C. But if you don't know how to get there, you just can't figure it out. So we circled around the interstate like 3 times. I looked in the rearview mirror and I said, babe, the Secret Service is now on us. The only other vehicles on the road were the black SUVs.
Oh,
and they had a form. Oh, dude, we're like sweating. Like, we just want to return the car, man.
Right.
We're not up to anything. We finally found this place to drop it off, and it's amazing. They all just took off.
Dang.
But,
And Secret Service, you could tell because they literally have it's called Secret Service Uniform Division.
Okay.
So they drive around regular, like squad cars, and, like they wear a uniform. But right, most Secret Service people just wear a suit and
Just
drive a black
don't
SUV.
pull off on the NSA exit on 32.
Don't do it.
Oh, my God.
The NSA, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the most secretive freaking institutions we have in this country. But if you go to Washington, D.C., they have the sign the size of a billboard. It's like, NSA, next exit. And I'm like, man, I know you're secretive.
Don't go there.
Why?
Visitors welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. You're like, you're supposed to be secretive, and you got this giant-ass sign in the middle of the highway. Take this exit. Jeez. Like, work on that, guys. Work on that.
A lot of people work there, too.
I know.
Like, I've been there.
I'm just saying, if you're secretive, what I would not do is advertise where I'm at. That's just me.
Right.
I mean, do your thing, you know.
And I don't have the story pulled up. I believe these agents were protecting the president's granddaughter.
Yes.
Yeah. They were on her detail. And they just
She was
run
in
her.
Georgia. Look, you don't know what Georgetown is. She was clubbing.
Oh, yeah?
She was getting drunk. She's partying. It's 2 a.m. in Georgetown. 2 a.m. in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., Ted. What else are you doing?
Oh, yeah. She was out having fun.
You are, you're
Nice.
tearing it up, man.
All right. And getting her car broken into.
And getting your car broken into. Which is also something that happens there.
I'm sure. In other news, down in California, authorities have released a statement warning the public about scammers. I love this one. They recently received a report from a man that had managed to get himself swindled out of $21,000 from someone lying about selling him gold. He found the seller on Craigslist. Craigslist. Offering his gold bars for sale.
Jesus Christ.
From anyone willing to buy them. Liking the sound of it, the man agreed.
On Craigslist.
And on Craigslist. Hell yeah, I'll buy your gold bars off of Craigslist, sir. You're selling them for crazy cheap.
On Craigslist.
I'm going to be rich. Turnaround's going to be nuts on this thing. But he's not stupid, okay? He didn't agree to buy these things and just like wire the money over to him, right? He wouldn't be that foolish. No. Instead, he met the dealer in the most reputable location that you could possibly think of, the back alley. Because if you're selling gold bars, you're going to do it in a back alley.
Yes.
Sadly for our enthusiastic buyer, the gold bars turned out to be fake, and he lost thousands. And of course,
bought fake gold bars off of Craigslist in an alley.
And of course, the authorities are going to say, like, if you are going to buy gold from somebody, make sure that you buy it from a licensed dealer and have somebody there that can verify the authenticity. They even said, like, grab a magnet.
Amazon sells gold bars.
Did they really?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's Amazon. They got things.
I think you can buy one at a time.
Costco had some small ones.
Yeah, they
Did
did.
they?
They sold out pretty quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Over to White Marsh, Maryland.
White Marsh,
Maryland, where a McDonald's customer was just done waiting. In a video that's gone viral on TikTok, we see security footage looking at the drive-thru window as our man rips the window open and begins hurling insults and vulgarity at employees, demanding they give him some effing food. He creates a tornado of destruction within his arm's length while continuing his verbal assault of the crew. After over a minute of making quite the scene, he's given the bag of food that he demanded and is sent on his way. No word on if he
I
was
cannot
arrested.
believe they gave him food.
That's what a lot of the comments
Also,
are
the
saying.
only thing that I saw on that, what I couldn't ignore, was the Baltimore accent, which was just ridiculous. Where are my fries?
Give me the whole bag. Bought the bags of
I
fries.
need my cake and my fries.
Men's Room Sports, you got a handful on here tonight. You got some NFL football. Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos are in Buffalo taking on the Bills. That's over on ESPN. You got the Manicast on ESPN, too. You also have some NBA basketball on tonight over on the NBA Network. And then for the hockey, your Seattle Kraken hosting the Colorado Avalanche that they kicked the tail off of. That's over on Root Sports at 7 o'clock tonight. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. The lovely Taryn Daly is up next.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. In the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo stove, fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Lovers, your local lingerie and adult store has gifts of pleasure for partners who know it's nice to be naughty. Turn up the heat this holiday when you shop at any Lovers store. Let our knowledgeable team help you select the best pleasure presents and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until December 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Ah, the satisfying sounds of more sales in your business. And from the sound of it, your business is growing. But you shouldn't have to pay more to scale your business. With Stamps.com, you can import orders from wherever you sell online, find the lowest rates with the fastest delivery times, and instantly deliver tracking updates to your customers and stock up on supplies. Get started at Stamps.com today with code PROGRAM for a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale.